we're going to be going over today, as we go over China first, is Group Omega versus Group Alpha, and if there's a difference in the skill level between the two groups. Megan, would you like to start?
Maybe we should start with the results so we can
Results
conclude.
first?
Yeah,
Alright,
results first.
alright. So, let me pull those up.
Up.
Here we go. Let me zoom out a bit so it's in the middle of the screen. So here are the results. So the first results that happened was Nova beat Lu 2-1, and then July Gaming beat Trace Esports 2-1 as well. And that was right after we had the last podcast.
Yes. So the Nova Tailu was not a no-brainer. Tailu was not favorite. It was kind of normal that Novas won these games. I don't think there are a lot of things to say about that. We can go fast on this one.
Yeah.
Then the Tracy Sport versus XLG was really important because the winner would basically, if XLG win this game, I think they were pretty assured to finish second, and Trace would have. It was almost no chance for Trace to not end fourth, so starting in the lower bracket. And yeah, I think I'm the only one that predicted this one. That's
Yes, you were the only one. Hades, and then you predicted traits.
um,
Good on you for that.
yeah, yeah. Don't take a lot of notes on these games. It was a little bit close as expected, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think XLG was better. The only game XLG has lost is the the game versus Bilibili.
Yeah, it was Billy Billy.
Yeah, and it was on the first week. I remember
Mm-hmm.
laughing a lot about them and saying they kinda choke on Tieco. And now it seems everything is fixed. They are 4 wins in a row. So yeah, might be a good team. We can go to the next game. I don't have a lot to say about this game. It was close to one, and yeah, every of the game were kinda close, especially the last one on Pearl. So it could have been either way, but at the end of the day, it's actually that one.
Alright, the next game we have is JDG versus July Gaming.
Yeah, not a lot of things to say again. It was GG took a games, but XLG was again large favorite, and when they won the games, they won. The two games they won was two stomps, and the only game they lose was a really close game, 13-11. So yeah, it was kinda expected. I don't think GDG is as bad as people say. It's a bad team, but uh, maybe it's at the same level as Tailu, I think, but not really sure. And Nat, you have something to say about these games? Or we can go to the next one?
So with these games, nothing to really say. I think they're all pretty expected besides the LG Trace, but like even then, it's you probably favor Trace overall. So I mean not Trace, ZLG. So yeah, I would say overall these are both pretty expected.
Okay, okay. All right. So what's the next game?
Next game is
DRG
Dragon
Tailu.
Ranger Lu, yeah. This one I did not
Ah,
expect. I expected DRG to win.
yeah. Everyone expect.
Yeah.
Everyone. Even I say, yeah, DRJ will gonna win, but
Nah.
you never know. It's gonna depend of if Vokashu is doing a game life or not, and if he's not doing a game life, anything can
Yeah,
happen.
let
And
me
I think that's
actually.
exactly what did happen there.
Yeah, let me actually. I can quickly
Wait.
check how we did.
This game I have quite a bit to talk about because I was super invested into this game.
Yeah.
So as I predicted Lu to win this, I believe.
What?
So. But
I'm gonna fact checking that.
Yeah.
yeah, just fact check it. But I'm pretty sure was it no, it was I think it was the tech game as well. I predicted tech over Nova, but I'm not sure about this one. Can we just check if what I said?
Yeah, I'm right on
She's
it. So
going back.
it's
Yeah, yeah. Pulling the
yeah
receipts.
yeah yeah. So it's Group Omega, I think. No, Group Alpha. Uh, yeah, it's Group Alpha, I think. So Yeah, you did pred Tailu.
Wow, Nats.
Yeah. Okay.
Slowly
So I
enjoy
have quite
it.
a bit. Yeah. So first of all, I just want to say that Vukashu, although you expect maybe you thought Vukashu life game thought about like dropping 80 or something, but I thought he played extremely well. I believe on if you click on not Haven, it was like was not, I think it was the last map. Maybe no, it wasn't last map. It was a split. He was incredible that game. He in
Yeah.
that first half, he was like up like it was like 20. He already had like 18 kills or something.
Yeah, 15 to
15 kills,
7.
15 to 3. Yeah, 15 to 7 on that defensive half. He was really good, right? But I feel like what I was really shocked is Scales, who they re-brought back in Tyloo, who had one of the worst stats last year. Scales, he comes in and he plays incredible. Okay, I strongly
Wow.
believe the reason why Tyloo was able to win splits and even Haven was because Scales performed massively above what everyone expected. I mean, I was already seeing like slides of people saying, "Oh, Scales, why are they bringing this guy back? He was so trash," and he plays out of his mind. You know, ends off 47 and 40 plus 7, and he had incredible lurks on split, is what I really want to bring up because he was consistently getting one on his lurk and then rotating Tyloo back and forth and beating DRG on these rotations. The only time Scales was not getting a kill was like when he was up against Fukashi, who was getting three up from nowhere, right? I also want to call out Slowly, who played an absolute masterclass of a performance, especially on that fracture. I mean, just solo winning them that map. And
Plus, plus 19.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's incredible. I thought he had quite a slow start on like especially on Haven, but he started to warm up on Split, and then really finished it off with Fracture. So really impressive from him. Definitely one of the top talents. Stuck on a pretty poor team. I think Tai Lu
Yeah, wow.
don't really deserve this 1-4 record that people are like saying. People are going, "Oh, Tai Lu, they're so bad," they keep losing. But I feel like Tai Lu have been playing pretty well. Besides like EDG that first game, they've been playing pretty close to all their opponents, especially Tech. They also smashed Nova on Icebox.
Yeah.
I think that Tyloo overall can put up a fight against the CN teams are superior to AG and JDG in the other group. I think that they can challenge. I feel like if you bring them to a series like Wolves, they will be able to fight at least a 1-2, and maybe like I'll give them like a 40% chance of winning, right? So they're not amazing, right? I'm not calling them Tyloo or the future, but I think Tyloo are heavily underestimated and on like the harder group overall.
Do you think it can be a long-term team like Nova Esport that was really bad in 2000 and in 2023 and is now one of the best team in China? If,
I would say that I can expect this team to play better, like to be a
yeah,
future investment, but it really depends on first of all if Scale can consistently put up this performance, or if he
yeah.
goes back to his like old form. And really, a great question mark for me is HFMI. I think Y2. I don't actually know how to pronounce the name, but he's a great player, top Chinese prospect. I think Slowly is one of the best players in China. But when you look at like HFMI and Scales, you get a little bit of question marks, right?
I think
Um,
HFMI is a experienced player. You know, when you have a team, you want to have some players that have some international experience, know the ropes, know everything. Even if they are not perfect, they bring this kind of experience that we can't see in game, but that is really important for our collective teams. And I think that it's that game. I think it's played international with attacking Soul Dragons
Yeah, he
when
played
they
in
were
Tokyo.
yeah.
Not seeing
So yeah.
anything else though. Yeah, just Tokyo.
yeah, but overall, I think Tai Lu will improve much more throughout the year. But I don't think maybe they will be like Nova Esports level where they're challenging for that top spot. I think maybe like at least in top percentile, like above top six, maybe for top four. Oh,
Oh,
I also do want to point out DRG in this game. Fukashi was a little bit of a question mark around him as he posted, I believe, on like Twitter. He was like, plus 23 or something was not is a plus 22. Sorry, 22 kills is not enough. Like I needed to get like 25 or something, which is just sort of maybe a reflection in the mental game in DRG. Right, obviously you have Fukashi, who is an amazing talent, who is carrying his team line by line, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a great mental to have, after losing a game.
Let me quickly check. I know not all games have stats, but I can quickly check. Yeah, if we look at the ratings that are posted right now for DRG, Vukashi's at a 1.23, Flexen's 1.09, and then 0.89, 0.86, 0.79.
Yeah.
It's rough, yeah.
So
yeah.
I understand that Rukashi, like, obviously he's not too happy with his team's results, but like even just saying that publicly is like a really crazy thing, and may harm his chances in future teams. But I don't think he'll do that much because he's still an incredible player.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on to the next game then.
Yeah. So next game is Wolves versus All Gamers. Where Wolves won 2-1.
Again, it's a game with no stakes. All gamer is bad, but
Yeah, they're really
can
bad.
show something sometimes. I like all gamers. They don't have firepower, but sometimes their game plan is interesting. Though it was not enough to beat Wolfsport, even in a game with no stakes. I think the only stakes for Wolves was to secure this place, but all gamers have nothing to play. So yeah, it was not the zero stake games, but it was still a game with a low importance. So yeah.
I mean, they're fighting
Uh,
for championship points, right?
What?
Those are championship points, right?
Yeah,
Every game.
championship points.
do
But also
they?
for Wolfsport, it's securing the third spot. In fact, if
Yeah.
Wolves has lose this game, they would have probably been last fourth and go to the loser bracket, and that's not what you want. So in fact, I'm a little bit trolling when I say there are no stakes on this game.
Yeah, All Gamers got 0 championship points because they didn't win a single game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contrary to BLB versus Trace Sport, where it was really a
Yeah.
zero stakes games. Even if Trace has won, they are still first, and even if BLG has lost, they are still first. So the only important is championship points, but well, you don't want to show a lot of things when you are one game away to qualify, because now BLG is first, and they just need to win the first BO to be qualified for the next international event. So I understand that you don't want to show anything. It's still too bad they lose, because you can win a game without showing anything, and they didn't manage to do so. They were really stomped on splits and also
On Haven, yeah,
and also
first
on
map.
Naven.
Yep. And then Ascent,
So
they stomped Trace back.
yeah. So yeah, but yeah, really weird bio, but maybe the fact there are no stakes there make it really hard to analysis.
Yeah. I mean, it's looked rough for DLG, but like, I mean, first of all, Knight was having just a really rough game. He's usually a top performer for BLG. This game,
Mm.
not so much. And then also you could bring correctly that there's just no stakes. I mean, BLG, they really didn't need to try to do anything. In fact,
Yeah.
losing so quickly.
Yeah.
Oh. He's lagging out.
Eh. Ah. Yeah. So yeah. This game was not important, but you think I really hope we'll have Urnad's back, because if it's only you and me, Revoke, it's gonna be a
You know
hard
what? I'll
episode.
help on the EMEA, but man, I don't watch a lot of China. It's at like 3 a.m. for me.
Yeah, I know you can't say it's already nice that you can show up to stream, because last time I
Oh,
did, I was so many likes. You're back, Nats?
Nats is back.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're
Am I
back.
back?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's really
We can move on to the next game, which is Titan versus Nova.
yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
pull that up real quick.
Another one I typed correctly.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually not
Yeah.
that close.
It was not that close, especially on split.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, we are supposed to be having another guest here today, Hades.
I
But
know.
I think after Tech won, he may have celebrated so hard that he went to sleep and missed this podcast. So on
You
his
know what?
behalf, I shall be glazing RB and glazing Tech on their great performance today. Okay, and I think that Meghania also has like a little bit to comment on this game, but let me go first into it. I think Tech played incredibly well. They they have improved much faster than any other team in China. I feel like, especially with that week one start, and then they're jumping up now to all the way to second in their group, I believe, and it was just
Yeah.
pretty masterful. I mean, T Virus Luke, he put up an incredible performance. I just really want to talk about him because coming off a really weak like performance, like two years, I think was the ERG. He comes in for Tech and slams. He was nervous his first game, doesn't play that well, but after that, every single series he's played has been incredibly good. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just baiting them out every other time. And I also want to talk about like Hao Dong. He's we know he's an experienced IGLing EDG for all those years, but he is just incredible. He's bringing up the vibes of every single clutch. Every single clutch, I hear this guy going, "Nice, good one," or like saying, "Oh," like he's just always there to hype his teammates up to always get them back into the mood. I believe Tech were down on Fracture for like they were down like 6-3, and then they brought it back all the way to 6-6, and then closed the map out. And I feel like a lot of that is due to Hao Dong.
Yeah.
Another person I want to like glaze really quick is After. People were questioning After's performance. Maybe his years on EDG was a bit fraudulent because EDG just have the best players in China and he got really lucky. But he's been cooking up, man. He's like brought this roster from the worst team in China, I would say, to all the way to like one of the top four. I'm presuming aroundish, for at least for me. And if you watch his on Split, they got so many like Teho like nades into grab nets because it was just like a really good game plan that they were setting up. And I think that individually, all of the players showed up today. I mean, RB, even though he's a little quiet on the Omen, he still had like I believe a really nice 3K defending the bomb sites. And then on Fracture, he was just fragging out, saving Tech all around. So, I mean, congrats to this team. Everybody was playing out of their mind. And yeah, I would leave the rest to Megahania.
So yeah, I have two things to say. The first one is, yeah, Tech played really good, but there are still some things that I found kinda alarming. On Split, again, we saw something we saw a lot in China. It's team losing anti-echo, and this is not. If yeah, they play it good, but this is really the bad point. Losing anti-echo doesn't mean anything. It's not that important if you can win also the opponent anti-echo, but that also proves that in your game plan and in your ideas, there are some weak points and some opponent can abuse on it. So I won't say tech is trash, but I think it's something they really have to look. There also there are runes. I want to analysis with you guys. Revoke. I think I just time coded one while Nats was talking because the game was just over, so I didn't have time to time code it. So you can. I post it on YouTube, on Discord. If never. I didn't post on VLR. I can do it
Is it
also
in
on
general?
VLR if it's helping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you
in
post
general.
it in the doc?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Perfect. Yeah, you perfect. Alright.
Okay, so this is a really interesting round because if Tech lose this round, well, it's gonna be 4-1. It's an anti-echo for Nova, so Nova should win this, and they should be in a 4-1 situation. So they took a first kill on the lurker on the cipher, and now they are a little bit pinch. It's still a 4v4, so they still have a chance, but now more time pass, and now it's pause please, pause if you can. No, you can't pause. Revoke, you are with me?
Yeah,
Can you go back a few seconds ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Let me pause here.
you can continue. You can continue. I
Okay.
will say pause in situation. Stop. Okay, so now RB is in a position of being 1v4.
Mhm.
He can't see the spike, and he's pinched in boost part, and there are no way he wins that round. He's got a Stinger versus Operator, Vandal, and I think it's another Vandal. And he's gonna kill the Operator right now. You can start.
Alright.
Yeah. Temporize using his Molly, I think. Yeah, go on, continue. He's still 1v3. Then he temporize. There are two guys that taking from him, so he takes the Operator, kill one another. He can't avoid the defuse, but he's got the ultimate, so with the ultimate, he can avoid the
Oh
defuse.
my
Finish
god.
the defuse, and finally take the Cypher and win a really important round for Tech, because if he lose that round, anything can be different there. So
Oh
yeah.
man, that's such a funny round.
Yeah. Really important round. So yeah, Tech can do some miracles, and they improving every week. So I'm really eager to see what will be their future.
Yeah.
You can go on the second game. Yeah, I have nothing more to say.
Yeah, and then that last one is Edward versus FPX.
Yeah, EDG played good on this game. I think FPX might have been a little bit unlucky, because maybe they play EDG when they have no chance, and EDG is a good team when they don't have a second chance, and when the first chance is already burned. They were already a little bit unlucky playing DRG when Vokashu was on fire, and so that's to lose that will cost them their place in playoff. And on this precise game, there was interesting ideas. But yeah, DG was too strong. Chishu was amazing on Fracture. Genji solo carried the split, because on split it could have really gone in the favor of FPX. And yeah. I don't have a lot to say on that bio. I don't know, Nat, if you have something interesting to analysis on this.
Okay, I would first want to say, I think it was a really important match for Gianni because he played super well on that split half, especially. I mean, he
Yeah.
completely saved them on this map. I think that you can really see like why they have brought in Gianni for Simon, and that's mainly because he can flex around more. They can be more flexible with the compositions that they want, you know.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be on that perma like double initiator, which they were kind of forced on and didn't look too great in. But
Yeah.
I think it's still a question if you think Gianni will be better, especially on these initiator maps where he didn't perform as well. I'm not saying he did bad, like he still did great, but I'm just like, he went really good, and then he went through like that middle ground. So and then you're questioning that firepower and flexibility to Simon's great utility, right? So we don't know how the future will go for EDG, but it's good signs for now. For FPX, a little bit unlucky, I guess, because as they said, they faced Fukashu in the best time, and they faced EDG when EDG finally look like the solid team now. They've got it all together. They look like they've ran their scrims with Gianni, look confident on it. I mean, FPX not making playoffs, that's got to be a disappointment. These are incredible players. You have these players who've like they're seasoned. They've gone to multiple internationals, and yeah, you look at this and they're not top 8 in China. Obviously they've had a tough group. No one. You kind of the other group kind of has a freebie of JDG and AG, while you only have like Tyloo. But it is what it is, and I mean, I just want to talk about Light for a second. He went from one of the best players in China, people rating him top 5, top 6, to putting up really awful numbers in stage 1. I mean, that's Neon game that's a 0.42 rating on Neon, a 0.57 on Yoru. He doesn't have a single agent where has a positive rating on. I mean, he's always been an overheater, but he's always been able to aim his way out, and you kind of see that he hasn't really changed. He's still that guy who overheats, but he's not getting away with it anymore. He can't just out aim everybody because China's either gotten a lot better in aiming, or he's also just maybe a little bit more inconsistent, a little bit worse in that aspect. So you're really questioning life and what he's gonna do for this roster. Because I mean, he's gotta at least stop overheating if he's gonna put up performances like these.
Yeah. So I think that put us in the situation of looking at the ranking, the final ranking of Chinese group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold up. Here we go.
I would disincentivize you to stay on this one because I think the ranking is not properly done, because you see they put VLR put XLG in first
Do you want
before
me to
BLG.
do Wikipedia?
Yeah, I think you should go to Wikipedia, because on Wikipedia they have the tiebreaker rules, and on the tiebreaker rules it's really clear. It's head-to-head matchup, and in the head-to-head matchup, BLG has beat XLG. So XLG is second, BLG is first, Wolf is third, Trace is fourth, GDG and All Gamer are out, EDG is first, Tech is second before Nova because they has beat them, and same for DRG and FPX. DRG is front of FPX. So okay, so this introduce, I think, the hot topic and the hot take on this. We have to talk about before doing playoff. It's that. Do you think Group Alpha is far better than Group Omega?
I mean, I don't say like far better, but I definitely think Group Alpha is superior to Group Omega. I mean, especially except for like BLG and ZLG, the other teams don't look that great. I think Wolves is especially weak. I think even when you look at FPX Tyloo, I think
Yeah.
you can be pretty confident they can put up a great series against Wolves and TE, especially in the form they're in right now. You know, I know that TE and Wolves, they have great individuals, but that's kind of all they have. Their macro is lacking a bit. You know, it's not awful, but it's not great. You know, I think that if you FPX qualify, you can easily have Tyloo qualifying. Where if you do the opposite with the other group, I still don't see AG qualifying. I don't see JDG qualifying. I think T and Wolves are a bit of a toss up, and I think that yeah, I mean ZLG, BLG, they look pretty good, but even then, I don't think their top teams are better than Group Omega, right? I think EDG or stand above them, so yeah.
Where would you put BLG in Group Alpha?
BLG, I'd put them
Well, that's a good question.
probably second or third around there. So not that far off, but yeah.
Okay, interesting. Also, I wonder if XLG is not in fact better than BLG, because they lose only on the
Yeah,
first map, on the first game, when they were a little bit shaky and they lack of experience, and they choke a lot more, and they stopped choking afterwards. So I think maybe they are better.
XLG has really
yeah,
impressed me.
Yeah, I was actually also thinking about that, about BLG ZLG, because I mean, BLG only beat them when ZLG was like choking on like 5 different eco rounds.
Yeah, I can
So
check actually really quick.
I think, yeah, I mean, it's like you could actually make an argument that they might be
Yeah.
better than BLG, but I think that for now, I think BLG at least are more consistent than them.
Yeah.
He lagged out again. He's gone.
Oh.
You want to finish this thought?
So I think I think the two groups are kinda equal, because I think the Group Omega might be a little bit worse than Group Alpha, but it's maybe only because Group Omega is more consistent teams. You know, they not have a lot of upset on this group. The group was almost transitive. If BLG didn't have lost against Race Sport, it would have been 5-0, 4-1, 3-2, 2-3, 1-4, 0-4, 0-5. So yeah, it would be a transitive groups. And meanwhile, in Alpha, you have some teams that can be the best team, the best, not the best team in the world, but a really amazing team on one day, and then the next day they are pure trash. You have DRG that is a really good example of that. Beating FPX and losing Tylo right after. I think they also beat Tech Sport and then
Yeah.
and doing a really good close BO against CDG and then losing Tylo was really weird. You had EDG that lose some really weird game and then but still being I think they lose against Tech Sport but still being kinda consistent when they have no choice and they have to win if they want to stay at the top and I think it's really hard to evaluate those two groups. It's possible we can have a lot of surprise. It's really possible that one group totally crush the other one on this bracket, and I think in almost every matchup, I'm like, okay, this is a 50-50. Yeah. Do you want to start the pick'em?
Yeah, we can start the pick.
Yeah,
Let me pull it
yeah.
up.
Wasn't
That's
able to
like
make this
perfect.
before because
Oh,
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
wasn't able to make this before because VLR hadn't put it up. Is it up yet?
It is VLR. It's not up on VLR, but I got it from Wikipedia. So here it is.
Oh.
And then first game is Titan versus Wolves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's the
So
easiest one to predict. To be fair.
I think I have Tech winning this one.
Yeah, I think Tech is favorite. I think it's a 60-40 because again, when you don't have a lot of cross-group games, it's really hard to guess. I think Tech is improving every time. They on their 5 last games, they lose their first game against FPX. They won DRG, they won Tylo, then they lose TDG, then they won really convincingly against Nova. So this sounds as a team that is continue to improve and that maybe even more improve next week. While Wolf seems a little bit shaky, not a bad team, but that rely maybe a little bit too much on firepower. Nat, what is your opinion on this game?
I think that it'll be a very interesting matchup because I think it's a really good question whether which group is like if they're better or not. But I think Tech will win this out. I'm more happy with their macro overall, and I don't think the individuals are that much more worse than Wolf. I think that if I feel like in a scenario where all the Tech players are sleeping and all the Wolves players are up, Wolves will win. But that's the only scenario I see Wolves winning. I think Tech are pretty strong. They've built a solid floor for themselves. And as you said, they are improving every week. So I expect that to continue. And I would prep Tech over here.
I agree with that. I agree. Revok, do you have an opinion on this precise game or you didn't watch enough China
Listen,
to
I haven't
help us
watched
on
a
this
lot
one?
of China, but I've been working on a statistics project, and Tech has impressed me a lot more than Wolves. I'll just say that. Um, they look
What
a
does
lot
the
more
stat
consistent.
says?
Yeah, I can pull it up actually. Let's see.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of stuff in here. Let's go through here. Let's go. Just pull the same one up twice. Okay, so looks like oof. Tech sucks on defense. So Tech on defense has a 42.5. Oh, this isn't including the last game. I have to update it. But before this last game, they had a 42.5% win rate. And then they are playing against
Ooh.
They beat Nova in
oh yeah,
the
Wolves. Yeah. And then Wolves has oh my god, Wolves has the best defense. They 52.78%. This is before the last games. This is before EDG, FPX, Nova, and Titan played. But if you move over to attack, let me move over to China. Yeah, Wolves has a horrible win rate, and Titan has a great one. And this is before Titan won their last game.
Mm.
And so
They smashed.
yeah, and they smashed it, right? So they should be going up, and I wouldn't be surprised, especially since these percentages are so close, if Titan on attack is top 3, and if we go back to defense, if they're more closer to like middle of the pack.
Yeah. So what we speak about something that maybe a good attack and a bad defense mean you maybe rely a little bit more on macro than another one because it's an attack that an EGL can really shine and manipulate the defense to find some gaps, to find some easy kills, to find some interesting ideas, and it's way much harder to do it in defense. So it was also your analysis, no? I think Revoke.
Yeah, in general, China is significantly better on attack. I mean, it really depends on region. For example, EMEA is a lot better on defense than attack. But China's the complete opposite. They're a lot better on attack than defense on average. And so a team having a strong defense like Titan will have after their stats get updated is very useful, especially since their attack is also strong.
Okay, okay. So maybe let's move on to the second game, which is maybe the most interesting one. The
XLG Nova.
XLG versus Nova.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I have no ideas on this game.
I think
See,
XLG
you-
wins.
You asked me a week ago which team wins. I confidently respond to you 80-20, Nova Esports win. You showed me this week where ZLG play, you showed me where Nova played. Oh, it's a toss up, man. I think it's a 50-50. I'm leaning towards Nova still because I really believe in their skill seeding. I think that if their players are shooting, like Wong at his peak, Zir at his peak, are incredible plays and will be beating ZLG. But if they play like today and they're like a bit messy, the plays on fragging that well, I can definitely see ZLG taking it. I would give it like maybe a 51-2 over for Nova.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go XLG, but it's a 50-50 ISO for me, but only for one reason. It's that I think if XLG would have played against BLG on not on the first week, they probably have end first in group, and I think they were pretty consistent since even if they lost a map against GDG, but it was a good GDG.
Oh my goodness.
So I think XLG having not lose 4 games in a row is a good show of what's the name. I think Wolf is against DRG.
Will Wolves be against DRG?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
so.
Okay,
I
okay.
think so.
Let me move it.
because they were C2.
I just looked at it, but I feel like the bottom side is much more difficult than the top side.
I think everything is difficult. Besides the Wolf versus Tech, every game is a nightmare to decide.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It's just wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
So
even moving to lower bracket, I feel like this is hard.
okay, so Wolf versus DRG.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this game is just. I feel like, are we going to have Prime Vukashu or are we not going to have Prime Vukashu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, DRG go right into that playstyle of we love relying on individuals, and Wolves are also into that playstyle of we rely on individuals. I mean, if I see Vukashu going up there, dropping 40s, I pick DRG. If I don't, I see Wolves winning this.
Okay. Maybe an hypothesis. Some team getting stronger when they lost their destiny. You know, they don't have their destiny in their hand, and their destiny said it's okay, you still can pass even if it was not. It was a little bit against the odd. So I think I will bet DRG because maybe that will. This game, this FPX versus EDG may just give them the shot of dopamine they need to win this game, but I'm really not sure about this. It's a 50-50.
Yeah, for me, I feel like you guys are mentioning it's up to Vukashu and if he has a good day or not. But at
Yeah.
the same time, Vukashu most of the time has a good day. So if you're gonna make the gamble whether or not they win based off of that, I would lean towards
Yeah.
they will, just because he's pretty consistently good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
All
Yes,
right,
that's a
I'm
good
gonna
idea.
move him up.
Okay. So for the next one, I have a hot take. So start, Nats.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Well, I think Trace, I've been playing awful. I mean, besides that BLG game, but even then, I think BLG were trolling a bit. I think Trace, they rely, I feel like, from what I've seen at least, it's mainly We let Kai go in. Maybe he gets 2. We will throw a flash for him or stun, and that's it. Kai will go in, he'll get 2, we win the round, or Kai does not get 2, and we will just throw the round. I mean, I haven't been impressed by the macro. I think the IGL is a bit off. I think that the individuals, I think they've also like bringing in a new guy for Feng Feng, which is going to be interesting. He didn't play that well. I think he's actually like the worst performing player in stats wise, according in China right now. But that's also because he. Wait, I might be making that
No
up.
way. Yeah, I was gonna say Feng Feng. I don't think Feng Feng's all the way in the bottom.
No. I'm pretty sure I'm making that up. There's no ways, right?
Yeah, I can look for him.
Wait, just check where he is.
I mean, he's pretty
No,
low.
not Feng Feng, the new guy.
The new guy, which is who?
It's like Minnie or something.
I know it's a really weird name. Midi, yeah.
Midi.
Let me check real quick. I mean, yeah, he has 140 combat score.
yeah, exactly. Which is why I was thinking he had like one of the worst stats. But yeah, I mean, you bring him for Feng Feng, he didn't look all that great, and they slapped BLG. I mean, if you're like rolling the team 13-1 and you're putting up that stats,
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about you, bro. I mean, I just don't see this T team being better than Nova. I think Nova at their worst beat this T team, like at their normal, right? Not at the peak. At their peak, I think T is a great team, but right now, I definitely favor Nova.
Okay, so I think Nova is a far better team than Trace Esports.
I'm moving him up.
In any wait, because there's a catch. In
There's
any
a catch.
other situation, Nova would win this game. But
Oh.
the huge problem with the format is Trace Esports will have one day fully where they can fully analyze their opponent. They can sit in their seat and just watch Nova playing against XLG, doing every anti-analysis, anti-echo, knowing what are they gonna do, what are they doing, and Nova will not have this time. So I think the format really help the first team to win the loser of the precedent game. So I think the gap between the two teams is really important in favor of Nova, but I think it's enough for Trace Esports to fill the gap because of the format. And I'm not gonna say I hate this format because I think it's far better than having the 8 team in the winner bracket, because the end of the schedule would have been zero hype and would have been no fun. So at least it's allowing group stage to not be fully useless. But I think it's really an advantage to play to have a round of bye when you are fourth and play against a team that didn't have a round of bye and that has just lose yesterday, and maybe that will be not fully 100% of their level because they duped a little, they don't have time to prepare, and so that's why I will go on Trace Esports despite Nova being a far better team.
What do you think about that, Nats?
What do I think? I think you do bring up a valid point, but I also think that T are not a team right now to be anti-shredding. I think that their skill floor is at a level where they're not ready to anti-shred. I mean, especially they're bringing a new guy called like Midi, and I've never seen TE been that big of an anti-shredder, even like throughout their kickoff, throughout like champs run. And I think that overall, TE are really just inconsistent team. They choke quite a bit, and the fact that they're bringing a new player, I think they're going to focus on more what their system is, then they're going to be focusing on Nova's system. So that's why I still favor Nova here.
Also, don't you think the experience of Trace Esports in this kind of games can really help a lot? Because when you consistently going to international, I think they were the best team in champions last year. I think in China. I think, not sure.
Who, Trace?
But yeah, I think they was one of the teams that went out of group.
Yeah, they went in
So
China.
They were the best team in groups. They were seed 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So I think the experience of Nova in this of Trace in that situation can help a lot, and I think Yeah, Nova is a better team, but every planet are aligned to have an upset on this game.
All right, are we willing to
Revoke,
concede an upset? I don't have many opinions. I mean, for me, looking from the outside, I think I'd favor Nova just based off of what I've seen from the numbers.
Yeah.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, I do agree that anti-stratting is important. But it really comes down to, will Trace anti-strat in the first place, and will they be good at it? And from what I'm seeing, because I just checked, obviously this isn't them anti-stratting, it's them getting anti-stratted. But what worries me is I was checking Trace's match history, and in kickoff, they played EDG. They won 2-0, 13-4, 13-4, played them in the grand finals, and then got shot on. And I'm like, okay, well, it's a bit worrying for me. Obviously, it's not the exact same, but getting anti-stratted so easily lends me to believe that they won't anti-strat other teams as well.
Okay, so you're betting on Nova.
I'd bet
I
on
also
Nova.
just want to bring up, I think
Okay,
T's
perfect.
stuff can make a lot of questionable decisions. I mean, they did not pick Bind a single time in their champs run, and it was one of their best maps. So, I mean, all the champs, the Bangkok run. So, I would still put a lot of question marks in their cooking stuff.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I think you should put them behind, not on the top.
Here?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
That's
here.
fair. Here, I'll move DRG.
Yeah.
Actually, let me do it
Okay,
like this.
so what I say for Nova stands for any team that is the winner of this.
Yeah, we need to go over the winner of the upper bracket now.
Yeah.
Billy Titan.
BLG versus Tech. Yeah, really hard. Nats, I let you start because I have no clues on this one.
Oh, I mean, I was spent here thinking about the decision myself. I think I'm favoring Tech because I think yes, BLG are consistent, but I'm really leaning on the fact that Tech can improve, right, and really shock me. I think they have a great coaching staff, so I'm leaning towards that, and I think that BLG overall, especially if Knight's not having a good game, they can crumble a bit. But I mean, I'm like picking at like hey bro, I don't really. It's really close in my opinion. I think it's a 50-50 for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Also, Bilibili has a lot of experience. Again, it's a little bit the same than the same argument than in Tracy Sports. They have more time to prepare. They will play a team that have no experience of international, being a team that have a lot of experience of international. CU Energy. And I really think we end the PKM and then we redo the PKM, but only with a coin, and we will see if the coin do a better score than us. We have to do that. Okay, so I don't know. It's so hard.
Yeah,
So
you
Nats,
can't leave it
you
up to
don't pick
me.
anything? Yeah, but go.
I was gonna say no, you can't leave it up to me.
Oh, sorry,
Oh.
I heard Ken.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
you cannot leave it up to me because I have not watched. I've only seen the results, so it's up to you guys. You got this. I believe in you.
Okay, Nats, no ideas? You know what?
That's lagged out. You know what? Do you want me to flip a coin?
No. I'm gonna ask the Phantom of Addis. Addis, if you can hear us, tell us who is gonna win between BLG and Tracy Sport. Okay, let me see in my crystal ball if the conscience of Addis is communicate with me. Yeah, he communicate with me and he say, "Oh no, I don't believe in Trace anymore. It's gonna be BLG." Yeah. I can assure this guy say that in this while he was sleeping. So you put BLG.
Alright, really quick. Let me test this. Coin flip. Sure. It's Tails, which would be the second team, which is Titan. But I'll listen.
Yeah.
I'll listen to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, are you leaning towards Titan? That's
No,
I was leaning towards Titan a bit, but like again, it's like the same aspect of I'm leaning towards DRG a bit. I think Whatever. Man.
I'm putting BLG there just to punish Addis to not be here, to not being here. To be fair.
I think that's fair. I think that's a great argument. Hades is not here. DLG got a slide. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Tech is gonna be against Nova, I think.
Okay. Let me move him. There
If
you
I'm
go.
not mistaken, because you avoid the potential rematch between Wolf and Tech doing that. EDG versus XLG. I think EDG is back.
Yeah, I'd favor EDG.
Yeah.
I do rate XLG really highly. I wouldn't be surprised if they get top 3 in this bracket. But
Yeah.
EDG, I mean, I think Gianni's looking good from what I've seen. And I just think their experience will push them through. I think they're a team that, when they get to playoffs, will feel the confidence rather than teams that don't have as much experience that might crumble under the pressure.
Okay, so everyone agree for DLG? EDG? Nats?
Yeah, for sure. EG just really good team overall. I have
Yeah.
no doubt.
All
Yeah.
right. That leaves us with XLG DRG. You can start with now if you guys would like.
Right. I would actually like to start. I think XLG win this. XLG are a really macro intensive team instead of into mechanics, and I think that will help them a lot against DRG, who are very weak on the macro side. I think they really rely on their individuals, especially like not Lure King, sorry, Flexin and Fukashi turning up. I think even if Fukashi turns up, I doubt they will be like they will beat ZLG, right? I think ZLG overall are just a better team enough, a good enough team to be able to counter just one good player fragging off.
Yeah.
I also think XLG is largely favorites, but again, you never know if Bokashu will gonna do an amazing BO today and just push them and beat them. But yeah, if Bokashu is not even more better than what he was, it's gonna be an easy XLG win. So I also double tap on XLG.
I mean, the other thing that worries me about DRG, right, is when you look at DRG play, I mean, and everyone says this is the main narrative, it's will Vukashu play well? Will Vukashu carry them to a win? You look at XLG and they have Rarga. Rarga is a ridiculously good player. He's insane.
Yeah.
But you don't hear people say, will Rarga pop off and carry them to a win? You hear, will XLG win as a team? And I think that's a really important distinction between these two teams.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's maybe the same level, but yeah, one player as a team and one other as a
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And then the next one's Titan versus Nova.
Ooh.
This one is so. You know what? This one sounds hard, but in fact, it's not. We just see Nova versus Tech today, and Nova just gets destroyed. But you're gonna say me, oh, but Megan, maybe there's a rematch passive, the rematch curse, so maybe it's gonna be Nova. But it will be rational to put Nova. To be fair, I go on Tech Esport on this one.
I tend to agree.
I actually go Nova here because
Ooh.
I think that overall Nova have played 3 bad series. 2 of them against DRG and 1 of them today against Tech. Overall, besides that, they've been playing super strong. I think it was mainly, I mean, if you look at their individuals, I think all of them were pretty much having an off game besides like Wong and like CB.
Yeah.
Especially Olingo. If you look at Olingo, he put up a disastrous performance against Tech. But if you look at his last game against I forgot who that Tai Lu, he was like it was like extremely good. Especially if you like look at the pro, he was like pulling out 3Ks, 4Ks. I think that you expect this team to be much better than they are against Tech. I mean Tech today. So I favor Nova, but I wouldn't be mad if you put Tech over them.
Revoke, you have to be the decider on this.
Oh, I have to be the decider? You know what? I'm gonna act like I'm Hades, and I'm gonna put Titan over him. I'm doing it in his spirit, so when he watches this back, he's going to be smiling down on us from above. But honestly, in my opinion, I agree. It's a 50-50. Another thing to mention is, like you said earlier, Nova will be in the lower bracket if I remember the timings correctly, and they will be able to watch Titan versus Billy, which might help them as well. But I don't know
Yeah.
if that will be enough, and I don't know. I believe in Titan. I think a team that gets better over the season has a lot more momentum going into the final game. Final games and playoffs, obviously, rather than a team who just lost their first game and immediately gets knocked down into lower bracket. So I feel more confident that Titan will win.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit sad because I think BLG is only the fifth best team in China right now, but they still gonna qualify just because of the fact they have more time to prepare it against the Titan.
Yeah,
So
I don't like that BLG is qualifying, but I can't argue that BLG is qualifying because it's so easy for them to qualify.
Yeah, just have to win a singular match. That's why this bracket's just weird, in my opinion, right? Because if you're just sitting there, you watch the previous game, you go, oh, this is what they're doing. You win because you anti-strat, and then you're like, oh, hey, here I am. I've qualified for the Masters. So it's a bit
Exactly.
ridiculous, but
But I think it's fair because you still end first in group, and it's good
yeah,
to reward the fact you end first.
yeah, I tend to agree.
Okay. So I propose to just do the four last game. This four last game will be covered by the next episode, but at least we end the PKM, so it's over and it's good. But just not argument too long on this game. I think EDG versus BLG, we can all gonna take EDG.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. XLG versus Tech is really hard. Nat, start.
I have Tech over. I think
Ooh.
that first of all we've seen ZLG choke, especially against the BLG in that first week. I think that Tech are less likely to choke. They have more experienced players compared to ZLG. I mean, some of these guys have been playing for years. They've gone to internationals. I think that like you look at RB, you look at Haldong, you look at Abwa, you look at the coaching staff. They're all very competent, like leaders. I also think that overall Tech are playing well enough to beat XLG. I think their individuals match up pretty well. I think macro wise they macro pretty well. So I think these are two very even teams, but I think the experience that Tech have are gonna favor them, especially the fact that ZLG are gonna come in losing to EDG. And we've seen teams that lose to EDG like completely get destroyed mentally. So
Okay,
I
so
really
I'm
think
agree with Tech. You can put Tech.
All right.
I think we are all agree that Tech is gonna win the rematch against BLG.
yes.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
but I
guys.
think I think without the fact BLG doesn't have a buy, I think Tech would have easily won BLG on the first game. It's just the situation that make the game far more easy for BLG.
I think
And
even
then
ZLG
EDG win.
I think ZLG or Nova could have even qualified over BLG if they just had that first spot, but yeah.
All
So
right.
now let's take out the coin and let's see if the coin is gonna do better than us.
Yeah. Do you want me to take out the coin?
Yeah, take out the coin.
Just pick the same thing you have. You put it right under, and you write coin under, and you make everything
Alright.
on head to head.
Let me go all the way back to the start. Here we go. All right, we're back at the start, guys.
Yeah, but can you keep both so we can see both our prediction and the coin prediction?
Yeah.
If it's possible. Great.
All right. All right. First one. Tails,
So
which
you
is the
can't.
bottom team, which is Wolves.
Okay, you
Okay.
can't just put our. So we can have our prediction and the prediction of the coin both on the same screen, so we can see actually what we saw here and what we did
Do you want
5
the
minutes
old
ago.
one as well? Yeah, I
Yeah,
can do
the
that.
old
Hold up.
one and the yeah,
Maybe the old one like above.
so we
That's
can
what.
compare it in real time.
Let me do this. Let me do this. I have to open it. Actually, hold up. And then, actually, I might not be able to. Actually, I can. I just have to grab the bracket again.
Yeah,
Hold up.
perfect.
Let me open Wikipedia. All right.
So yeah, this is gonna be really
Alright, here we go,
interesting
here we go.
to have the coin. Perfect. If you can write coin just over coin, so we know it's a coin.
Okay. And then here we go. Alright.
Okay.
So
First one was a tail.
yeah, so first one's tails, so that's wolves.
Amazing. A win for Wolves Sport against Tech. Hadis would be not really glad of that.
Alright, next flip.
And it's gonna be
Heads, which
It's
is XLG.
And at least this one, the coin is agree with us, and it was a really 50-50 game. So the
Alright.
coin is the coin knows. The coin knows.
Alright, let's move on.
I think Tech will be against. No, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Okay, suspense, and it's gonna be tails. So
ERG.
Oh no!
Oh, Hades. Hades is not gonna be happy with that one.
Oh no!
Hades would be
So-
fuming if he was here right now. Tails, Trace beat
So-
Nova.
Oh, the coin is agree with me on this one.
Okay.
Alright, now we're moving back up to the uppers, so it's gonna be Billy versus Wolves. If Wolves
If it's
moves on,
Wolves, it's gonna be.
okay, we're good,
No,
guys.
no. Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
We survived to see another day.
At least the coin isn't
This
a
is
huge noob.
XLG. XLG.
Oh!
XLG winning. Okay.
Yeah, but this
Not
is the
pretty sure
scary
the coin-
thing. Is it gonna expect an EDG crash out? That's the scary
Oh.
part.
Oh, if EDG don't win Toronto, that would be.
Wolves
insane.
goes down to play Trace, yeah?
It's need to avoid the rematch against Tech, so yes, it is.
Yes.
And
I just want to
then...
bring out a fun statistic. If the coin does eliminate EDG, EDG is the only team to have made every international event since a team has debuted. So if you debuted in like after franchising, so even if you're an Ascension team, if you if you didn't make the next event after you made Ascension into the franchising tier 1, they didn't make every international event that they were allowed to participate in.
Alright.
EDG have.
Well, let's see if EDG beats DRG. Where Vukashu drops 110 kills.
That will be so funny, to be fair. You know, you get
Oh!
out, and then...
Oh!
Nah, this is not gonna happen. The coin is a complete clown.
It's okay, we have to
You know
keep
what?
going.
If the coin wins that, I'm starting to do a religion against the coin. If the coin is right against EDG.
Wolves are one
Oh.
match away from qualifying.
Wait, no, it's not tails.
Is it? Oh,
Oh,
yeah, it's heads, which is
no,
wolves.
it's tails. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah, okay. This is completely clown.
Alright.
This is a total clown fiesta, to be fair.
Billy XLG. Tails XLG is now in the finals.
Okay. to be fair, I think I would give XLG win over BLG at this point.
Yeah, I tend to agree. DRG Wolves? Wolves
Oh.
is qualifying?
Wolves believer. Oh,
If anyone here is a fan of Wolves, you are vindicated officially.
my dad.
Cause we got you, fat baby.
Alright, final match.
Imagine
second
if
final.
Wolves winning that. Yeah, second final. Imagine if Wolves winning everything. It would be so funny.
Alright, Billy.
Oh,
Okay.
Alright, who wins? Let's find out.
okay.
Billy.
BLG.
You had
Okay.
Okay.
Alright,
Except the complete crash of EDG, I won't be that surprised, but the crash of EDG is pure troll.
alright. And then what I'm gonna do Someone in this call has to make their pick'em with the bottom one, and someone has to make it with the top one. And we'll see which one gets more
Okay.
points at the end.
Okay, I will do for the. I never did pick'em before.
Alright, you'll do it for the coin? Nats, are
Yeah, I
you
did
willing
for
to
the
do it
coin.
for our pick'ems?
I'll do it out for our figures, yes.
Alright, in 2 weeks, we will update with which one is correct.
Okay.
But for now, I think
So
that's
how
it
I
for
do?
China.
How I do?
Unless you want to bring
How
up
I do
some
my
clips.
pick'em? No,
Oh,
just put a coin in the bottom so people know that it's the coin that did that and not us. If you can write
Yeah, here, hold up.
with your hand.
yeah.
Hold up.
What? Oh
it's
yeah. I understand
Beautiful.
what you're cooking.
It's beautiful. And then, wait, hold up. Here we go.
We're cooking.
Whoa,
You're
whoa,
cooking so
whoa.
much.
Why are there two? Oh my gosh. Hold up.
That is a great question. Why is there two?
Okay, we go, I got it.
Okay. Wow.
Here we go. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Alright.
If we are
EMEA
not
time?
complete clones after that, yeah, EMEA time.
Alright. Alright.
Yeah.
Finally, it's time to go over something I actually know.
Yeah.
So, EMEA. Really quick while I change the topic. Anyone have overall thoughts on the last week?
Liquid win, baby. Woo!
I think I'm almost 6-0 on last week. I only didn't pred heretics, but I think yeah.
Oh, my
But-
predictions were horrible. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh,
My predictions. I think my predictions were all okay. Besides, I actually forgot all my predictions. I can't lie. I just know I predicted Liquid to win.
Ooh. I mean, I got half of them, guys.
it's not that bad.
It's not
Could have
that
been
bad.
worse.
Let's go over the results. Let's go over the first game. Koi BBL.
Oh no, my predictions are pretty good. Yeah.
Maybe just do group per group. Maybe show
Group by group?
the group alpha. Yeah, group per group, alpha and omega. So we don't it's weird when we talk about vitality and then 5 hours after we gonna talk back about vitality. So we just focus on 16 per 16. It's a little bit easier to do that.
Okay, hold up. Let me just open each match.
Maybe you can. I think it will be easier if you go on the ranking and
the ranking?
you show the game. Yeah, on the ranking. That's
Yeah.
how I did last week. And then you click on the hidden match, and then you have everything.
Perfect. Alright. So, we'll
So
go over Group Alpha first, which was
Navy versus Jax.
Navi GX. Yep. There's a lot to go over for this one.
Yeah.
I predicted a GX win. I thought Navi would be the worst team in the league. But Hero looked really good. I think he looked really bad at the start. Obviously, we're not super deep into this split, but Heroes looked really, really convincing. He looks like how he looked on Fnatic, and I'm really happy for him because without him, I think this would have been a GX win pretty easily.
Yeah. So the 15-0 against Jax didn't have make you change your mind.
A giant X win in the legendary 13-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Niso?
I think, yeah. I think overall, I played Navi to win because I just lost all my hope with Giant X against Heretics. But I think, overall, right? You can talk about both these teams, but at the end of the day, they're not that. I feel like they're both not that great.
Yeah.
Hero put up a world performance for Navi over here, and Koala Noob overall, I believe, didn't do that bad.
Yeah, besides Matt.
Oh, I'm trolling. Koala Noob did pretty cool on the other two, but okay. Yeah, I think. Oh, it's actually Rooksuk that put up
Yeah, Rooksick played very well. I mean, Rooksick, I feel like, oh man, he pisses me off. He's either like jumping around, he's jumping through a window and getting one tapped, and he just looks like he doesn't even know what's going on his minimap, or he's like the next coming of Jesus. I don't, it's so weird. Like, I've watched him throw games single handedly, and then I've watched him just like one tap three people, like 3 rounds in a row single handedly. It's just odd, and I feel like it's hard to bet on Navi when you have a player where it's just a coin flip if he does well or not.
Also, Shao can solo carry some rounds also, so I don't think Navi is that cooked because if one player isn't good, you can have another Vokashu that carry the team. And
Yeah.
I do want to bring.
yeah,
I do
yeah.
want to bring up a quick comment though, because I mean, they moved Tomazi to this duelist role, and
He's still ass.
it's not been helping him.
I mean, the other good news is Purpo doesn't look horrible on controller, but at the same time, like, I feel like the roll swap's still a net negative, which is insane to say considering Thomas was dropping like 9 to 20. But I still think it's a net negative, and it's really concerning to me when you see names on a team like Purpo and Cloud, and Thomasy who has experience, and Runner who's on Vitality, and your player who's, in my opinion, consistently looked the best is Westside, who people didn't even know who he was like half a year ago. So it's just, it's scary, and I feel like I made a funny comment earlier, which is I hope Westside doesn't think this is what VCT is like playing on this clown team, because then he might just retire.
No, it will not happen. Not will happen. I just hope in the future Giants go to a full Russian roster and maybe solve some com issues they can have. I don't think it's even com issues, but I think it's always better when you have a Russian player to let them play in their main language, because communication is so important.
Yeah, I mean, I would like that too, but I've heard at least from like Butterfly Effect overall in the Discord that Giant Redguard and Purple, I believe it was, asked if so it was Redguard, Purple, and Cloud, all three of them like asked if they not Purple. I forgot who it was specifically, but it was Redguard and somebody went to ask GX management if they could make a full CIS roster, and they said no. So maybe it can change in the future, but at least for now, it's not looking like Giant X will go full into Russian.
Okay.
Want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Alright.
versus Heretics.
Yeah, Vitality versus Heretics. I bet on Vitality, and I was really disappointed, honestly. I mean, I brought it up in the Discord, which some people might disagree with, but I feel like the roles on Haven were just really weird. Kix doesn't play controller. Saivov, like, I think he looked so much better on controller. And then Safe on Sova, like, yes, he's played it before, but at the same time, like, Kix, I feel like, is such a dedicated initiator player. I don't see why you wouldn't, like, swap it around where Safe could be on the ISO, because we know Safe individually has great aim, even if he's IGLing. And then you move Kix to Sova, and then Saivov to Omen. I don't see why they didn't do that. And obviously it might be because they scrimmed with this comp and they felt confident on it. But it just feels weird to see 3 people in Agents. They don't play that much. Besides Saivov, who's been leaning towards ISO. It just, I don't know. It felt off to me.
Yeah. I have a small clip on Icebox, and I think Vitality is improving on team play. So I just want to show this clip. It's a bit on the top.
Yeah, I got it.
One. And so pause. Too fast. So it's a 3v3, and Heretics will kill Kix right in the start and plant the spike. So we are in a situation of 2v3 in a retake situation where Derke has an operator and Saivov have just an ultimate killjoy. And this sounds a little bit almost impossible because retaking with an operator is really hard. But you can start now, and as you will see, Vitality will do something really interesting and I think really smart. I don't know if it was called. So Kix dead. Okay. Ultimate up. Okay. And then
Berkeley's going to be here to find the backside of it as well.
Pause. Berke isn't helping the killjoy. You usually like to play together. Sometimes it's good for retake, it's easier, but that's not the game plan. Derke is gonna go taking the back of Heretics, taking
Let
a
me hide
line,
my webcam.
and
There you go.
and yeah, but you can go now, I think.
Only got operator,
And
though.
he's
What's-
in a
what's going on
perfect
with the plan?
situation
I don't know. They're
to
gonna try and get the
just
farm
wait
down.
they go out, because
They're all
now
gonna be
we have
screwed,
3
right?
people
Like,
versus
surely-
an operator.
Did
Boom,
any of them make
1
it out
kill,
there? I think
the
they all got
ultimate,
tamed.
1 kill, and the
Woo,
last
this
one
giant
is
lives.
blocked,
Oh,
and that's
Jack
how
is
you
on the
you
hunt.
winning a round that
Jesus,
look at
Mother's Day wasn't
really
that
hard to
long
do.
ago.
If he was
A
staying
terrible-
with a Killjoy on there and just playing together, it would have been a mess. But they communicate nice. I think it was a call from the team and say, okay, I have an operator. You have an ultimate. Just use your ultimate, and I will wait them with the operator, and that worked perfectly. But in another time, I think even if they a little bit more improved on their team play, I think more and more time pass and they play less good. I don't think their overall level improved despite their collective level augmented. So maybe it's the counterpart of saying to a team, okay, we only play on aim, but now we'll focus more on team play. So we focus more on team play, so we focus less on aim. So the team is gonna be a little bit less good at the start, but more times they will be confident to play with team play. They could go back to their all aim. Maybe it's that, or maybe it's something that is a little bit more frightful, and maybe it's the start of Vitality having some tension inside of the team, rivalries inside of the team, egos inside of the team, and the quality of people hearing each other is gonna go down, and Vitality gonna continue to play worst and worst, and I don't know which one is the truth. I hope it's the first one, but I know enough ego on Valorant to know that the second is a true possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird to me because I think the first game they looked so good. And then after that, they just fell off a cliff. And like, if you look at the stats so far this season, like Dirk is 0.88. That's like a shadow, if not a shadow of himself, um, of kickoff. And then kicks, like, his util's still good, but he's not fragging as much. Safe and normal. Les is at his 0.99, which I don't think Les has been at his 0.99 since he like started his career. And then your rookie Sivov is flexing to Omen and then ISOing Killjoy, which is like so insane to me that you have a player who's playing 3 completely different characters and roles, and he's still doing better than the rest of the team when you first add him. And so in my mind, like I feel like in a sense they added a great player, but I don't think they know how to use him.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think that for Vitality, like, even if they are focusing on the macro, I feel like the macro isn't like that much. Like, it's not like an incredible increase, but their fragging has gone down by an incredible amount. And I also really want to give credits to just Team Heretics and Miniboo. I mean, he's been playing with so
Yeah.
much confidence.
Yeah.
Look at Icebox; he's sliding around everywhere. He's going in. He's getting these kills, and it's just really bringing Heretics across the line. I mean, this guy, he was really like he came in with a pretty rough year, right? A lot of he had like finished like college or something or pick exams, and he came in with pretty rough shape, especially into that champs. People were hating on him, and now he comes in. He's a lot more confident, and it's been working well for Heretics. I think that
Yeah.
beating Vitality is an incredible accomplishment. I mean, yeah, Vitality have been looking that great, but this is looking great signs for Heretics. I mean, they're fighting for top spot in EMEA now, alongside like Fnatic. So I think yes, Vitality are performing worse than they have, especially if you look at like their Bangkok, their kickoff performance. But I think a lot of the credit has to go to Heretics here and their amazing performance here.
Yeah, I agree, and I think. Well, first, Team Heretics is back. We had a lot of doubt with Team Heretics in the past, but now it's sure they're back. But I think it's also interesting with the neon on Icebox. Maybe we finally arrive in a time of Valorant where in the past every team was checking which composition is the worst on each map, and okay, this composition is the worst one, this composition is the worst map, in the worst one is the best one. But now I think we arrive in a time in a meta where the question is not which composition is the best on each map, but with the strength and the weakness of your player, which composition is the best. And the best composition for Vitality is not gonna be the best one for Team Heretics, and is not gonna be the best one for Fnatic. And this is making the game really much more interesting. Neon may not maybe the best pick on Icebox, but if you have Milibu as a duelist, then Neon become the best duelist available on this map. Same for any other people, any other agent, and I think it's really sign for the game because less mirror matchup, less more hype, and yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, another thing to mention is I'm gonna go back to my little stat sheet, but Vitality has the their win rate's almost on defense is almost as bad as GX, which is really concerning. While Heretics has the best, and then you go to attack, and let's move back. Yeah, they're at 4th, but then yet again, Heretics is not too far behind. I mean, they're part of the group for attack, which I think is really good to see, considering that I put them highly before this season. But I don't know what's happening. Their defense is for it. Like, to be close to GX's level on defense is just really, really bad. I can actually zoom in because they can't see it. Here we go. But yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's happening there. In my opinion, I think it's just role issues because with Trex, I didn't see that. And I think part of that is just like what is happening like with this comp. Like you have Sivoff 2 and 10 on ISO on defense. You have Kicks playing Omen for some reason. Safes on Sova, I guess. It's weird. It doesn't instill confidence in me to see these players playing roles they haven't played before, and if they have, they barely have on a massive stage.
Maybe they need to find their identities, you know. Maybe they
Yeah.
want to stick too much to the meta, and yeah, as I was saying before, you don't do a chocolate cake with tomatoes. With tomatoes, you do pizza. So maybe this team's gonna find their own identities, know what are their strengths and their weakness. Maybe the solution would be to switch toward double duelist composition with all the firepower they have. Maybe that's the best choice. What do you think, Revok?
I mean, they've done it before. I mean, that's what they're doing on Haven too. I mean, some people might not see Yoru as a duelist. They might see him more as an initiator. But at the same time, I still think he has a lot of fighting capability, so I'd still put him as a duelist. And they've been running Yoru, ISO. I think they've ran ISO and Durkee on Raze before. I could be completely wrong. So they've ran double duelists before, but it's just not working.
Yeah, but you put your support player on a duelist, and you don't put Kicks or Safe on the duelist. Maybe that's the problem, no?
I mean, maybe, yeah, but I don't think Kicks would ever play duelist. I think the person who might play duelist is Safe, but at the same time, you know, you have a player who just recently picked up IGLing, and yes, I think he should have played duelist on Haven, but I think him flexing to duelist consistently isn't a good idea, because I just don't think you can call as well if you're playing duelist.
Okay.
I mean, also,
yeah, it's always the same debate. Go on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Safe has also always said that he hates playing duelist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
wow, this is so weird. So yeah, maybe.
It's just weird, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, like, it almost seems like they, like, got into the match. They went, oh, guys, we're playing Haven, and then it was, like, a ranked lobby. Like, Sivoff went, I want to play ISO, he locked it in, and then Safe's like, I don't know. Dirk is like, oh, I'll play Yoru, he's meta. Les is like, I love Cypher. And then Kicks is like, well, I don't know what to play. And Safe's like, you know, I used to be good on Sova, I'll pick him. And then Kicks is like, oh, we don't have a controller, I guess I'll lock Omen. And it's just weird.
But,
it looks like they just thought it up while they were in the lobby getting ready to play the map.
But this is a current meta on Icebox, I think. That's why maybe they just don't have the weapon to play what is meta and just play their own identities and just stop following the meta.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we should switch on the next game?
Yeah, we definitely should, which was Apex Fnatic.
I have a lot of things to say on this one.
Alright. You can start, I will be right back. Go on your rant, I'll keep it on this page.
So I don't have a lot of ideas about Lotus, but the split was maybe one of the best game of Valorant I've saw in terms of macro game, in terms of I just I don't know, I just couldn't stop looking at the screen, and it was an amazing game. The two IGL play really good. It was already a really close game, and there are a lot of good ideas from Boost team. I like the composition they did. Can you show the composition on split?
He's like trying to do something.
Just click on
So-
split and you good.
No, he's like I don't know, he's like had to throw something out. So
Oh, it's too bad because my next move was asking him to show the some clips I've isolated and I've picked. So in Boost team, it was double duelist, and it was a matchup mirror. You know, a mirror matchup with kinda weird composition, but not troll composition, interesting composition. So you've got Raze, Ayoru, a Fade for the reveal, a Viper, and an Astra. And I think that's composition that I love, because when you have this type of composition, you can have your two controllers each on the side of the map and trying to take space and giving info to the other one. And if one of them dies, it's not that a huge issue, because you still have another controller and you can continue to take space. And that's what I love with this composition. And with the double duelist, you also have a lot of firepower to enter in a site, and you can vary a lot your strategy. You can make huge lurk, which Avova did, and in a round that or Revoke will he be able to show us when he's back?
I'm here. All right.
Great.
Where is
So
it? I think it's
so
right here.
yeah. Go the second one. It's
Second
the lurk round. Yeah, the second
Perfect.
one. This one, an amazing round. It starts pretty slowly as a normal round. You can go full jet. I just
Wait,
put
hold
it
up. Let
at
me
the start and not
quickly hide my webcam so people can see the mini map.
okay.
Alright. Here we go. Okay.
Sniper's pick can definitely
Okay.
make that a little bit
So,
more difficult.
You see, we have the
Especially if
Astra
there's
and the
contact
Raze on the
around
side of the
mid-control.
map, trying to take space.
However,
The Yoru
though,
managing
one
to take
aspect
space with
that
the
goes
Viper,
alongside
thanks to
those
the wall.
smokes is also
The
Batu
A side
taking
is a weak
space. He
seat
can
for
very
Fnatic.
easily
They will
reposition to
try
the
to
other
take
side
in
of the
retake,
map,
but
when you
this
get
will
this
cause us
far,
a huge problem.
I feel like you don't want
because
to. You want to hold on to heaven control.
things not a lot of things happen in the start.
Control if
They're
you
gonna
can.
try to take space on mid because they have
Play a
used
bit
some
of bait and
space on
switch
A
with
side,
Mosley as well, perhaps.
but they decided to go against it.
Curious
And
to see
then
how this one goes
the
down.
waiting.
A lot of
It
ultis
was
for
a
Fnatic.
game
Their first
where
time out
Boost
called
team
in this
waited
series.
a
The
lot
first time that
and
they feel
did-
pressure,
and
and we
used
saw them overconfident in some of
all
those
the
rounds.
time they had
They gave away
to,
back in,
to
albeit
do something. So
into a
they
quick
managed
conclusion.
to put Astra
But now, you imagine they come into
in
this
not
more locked
an
in
advanced
than
position,
ever.
but
Absolutely.
you still
You've got
have
to be
the
at this point
Yoru
for sure. They've got to
have a
some
perfectly
sort of
position and
answer
say,
for how
I hear
aggressive
nothing,
Apex
so
can
now
be.
we can try to do something on A
Anything
side.
away.
So
Every piece of utility has been
this is waiting,
dodged,
and
avoided.
Apex will start to
Already.
go in.
And Nightpool's
Use their
gonna clear out the
ultimate,
side. The problem is there
nothing
was no
on
one
the
there.
A side, so they
Fnatic
know they
far
can go.
more
The ultimate
passive
of Yoru
in this
also
scenario.
taking
They've
information
seen a man
on
in
the
the
side.
backline.
It's safe. They can
They are
plant
very
for
quickly
top side, and this is really strong because as you can see,
being able to get
Astra
back into
is
position.
lurking on the B side, and when you have an Astra lurking on the B side, you
And the danger though is on the other side
you
of the
can
map.
be in a
Just
situation
run
where
around.
you
all
can't
the way through
avoid
spawn.
the diffuse with Astra.
If
But
Avova
first,
can get there
you
in
get your
time,
stars,
this
and
could
second,
ruin
since
everything.
it's planted for top,
Shift walking just
Astra
in
will
time,
be
popping
able
down some
to go on
stars, trying
top
to buy
to
a
avoid
little bit of extra time. Chronicle onto
the
fluorescent, though. That
diffuse.
must have
But
been
as you
through
can
the
see,
smoke.
things
And
is
looking
not
for
gonna
the
go
walls, we saw it indeed.
as planned.
And a
It's
little
gonna
bit
be a
more
bloodbath
found now
for
from
the next
Alfier.
second.
Avova, though,
First
makes
kill
his presence
taking on
known.
Governor, but
Presence known, but
the
it's only
lurk
for
from
one.
Avova finally reach and take a first kill. Boaster is gonna start diffusing in the
Still,
smoke,
Fnatic
and
on their way to the site,
and
grabbing
then
themselves a
you
half
will
diffuser,
have
trying
a
to. The
precise
grapple comes into
between
play. Avova
a
buying more
multi
time as
and
Heaven has now
Chronicles, and
seized
multi
the
saving
spray
his
in
comrade,
the smoke.
and then
are
we are in
good.
a situation
Extension.
of
They want
3v4,
Boaster
but
on the
Boaster
stack.
is seeing
They're
the
gonna
smoke,
get it.
diffusing, and
Across
they
the
couldn't spam him,
line,
and
under their nose.
Fnatic win
A
this
Red
round, and
Bull
this
clutch,
is a
and
really
it's
important
Avova.
round because, as you know it went to OT. So if Apex has won this round, it would have been probably a win for Apex. And yeah, this might have changed a lot of things for the Boost team. I think these games, I think Fnatic is right now the best team in Europe. Maybe by far. And if on the map pick of Fnatic, you are able to push them on overtime and on a really close game that could have gone in Boost team, Apex is not a really bad team. It's a team that can really improve after each BO, and I really believe they can.
Jesus.
It's not over for them.
Wait,
And I
wait.
have another clip with Fnatic
Yep,
and
pull it
how
up.
they manipulate the economy. It's the first one, this one, on the 2 link.
Still,
Uh,
Fnatic on their way
so,
to the site,
um,
grabbing themselves a half diffuser,
No, this
trying
is,
to.
this is not the good one. This is the other clip.
Not this one?
So the clip, yeah, is really long because we're gonna
okay.
talk about 3 clips in a
Still-
row. No, the other one.
Other
Again.
one? Okay. This
Yeah,
one.
the first one. I think. Yeah. Okay. What? This is the same one, no?
No. Oh, you just linked the actual video of this one, so it's the same. Yeah, you didn't timestamp it. I can find it though. You said
Oh.
round 8.
Okay, it's
I can go back, don't
it's
worry.
the start of the start of Echo round. I think I forgot to
No,
put
it's
the
okay.
timestamps up.
Let me
I'm
go
trash, my bad.
back. This
It's the
is
start of the
more-
game.
Yeah, let me keep going back.
So it's map 2, so it will be really at the start. It's
Yeah, I thought this
Yeah.
was the entire VOD, but it is just one
no.
map.
It's before. It's before.
On site.
It's the second round.
Deployed in.
You want to go all the way back
It's
to the
the
second
end,
round?
it's the end of the first round, the start of the second, and the start
Okay,
of the
okay.
third globally. It's a little bit weird, this one. So yeah, perfect. So as you can see, Fnatic is gonna win this
On
round,
this map of both
and
teams' approaches
they're
to
gonna
the
win this
macro,
round
as
with
it was on
3
Lotus.
weapons.
We start to see
Sheriff
Apex
and 2
already
Ghost, I think.
coming
And they will
space.
start the next
That's
round
that first
with the
player on
same
the flank. They
Sheriff.
realize maybe.
and the same Sheriff, 2 Ghosts, and they will only buy 1 Vandal and 1 Phantom. They obviously not gonna put a weapon on the Viper because the Viper is gonna lurk, so you can continue
Maybe there's
the
two,
video.
probably one
A-
more.
and,
Immediately blitzing it down. A player like
they-
Kayak, high on
they will be in
confidence after
position
last map
to
with a phenomenal
not
opening
getting
on
surprised.
Lotus.
And
surprise that
thanks
he's,
to the fact they have a
raring for
little
a
bit
fight.
more weapons, they're gonna
It
win this
seems
one.
similar
And
to
they're
what we
gonna win this
had
one
done
with,
before.
I
I
think,
don't mind the idea at all.
you know, he's
from
dead, but
Apex and
he's
what they
not
attempted to
gonna
do.
let any weapon to the opponent. So it's
The
not that bad.
mid-rounding just feels a lot better
Um,
from Fnatic. Like having that quick
so
adaptation to
the
take
round
that space back and
continue.
go, okay,
You can, I think you can
caught us off
fast
guard,
forward
you
for the next
had
second and
control. It's on that a lot.
yeah, so they're gonna
I
repack
don't-
on A
you're
side.
not really
They are together, so
activating
now
other
it's
players.
okay to die because
Lucky
if
that the
someone
halt went
dies,
down just as those
they
players were in the
drop the
sewers. They
weapon
obviously
to
know the
another one,
timing's on it and
so
they're waiting
not a
for it.
problem.
So
It's
now
a
you're not going to have the
4v4,
numbers
but
from Apex,
you
although they
still
do
have
seem to
lost
play
no
that
weapon.
gamble perfectly, moving in towards heaven. Now 3
and
players stacked up and ready to go.
yes,
They
things
saw the
become
stars
at
go
their
down. They know
advantage.
that there's a fight brewing. And on the other side of that wall, Fnatic have already given away their positions.
Yeah,
now for
it's taking a
Fnatic,
little
3
bit of time.
pistols coming
It's
into
gonna
this
be a
round.
pure
Kayak went
4v4
down
on this
early.
side
It's
because
Alpha and
everyone has
Crashies
time
who are really packing a punch,
rotating.
and some risks can be taken
A good
from
kill
the
from
rest of the
Chronicle with the
squad.
Ghost.
They want to be careful not to lose too many more
Even have
players.
the
This
advantage
round
because he was
could
playing
get
against
dicey.
a classic.
For now,
And,
guaranteed plant, and they're only
and now,
against pistols. Ghosts
I
from
think
the
only
other
2
side.
people gonna
Feels like
survive
a
for
much
Fnatic that
riskier
will
version
win
of
this
the
round,
bonus, but
maybe 3.
Apex.
Yeah, 1 kill,
really
and now
invest
it's
much
1v3, it's win for Fnatic. So,
Going in with only those 2
so
rifles
yeah, you
into
can
that
go
site.
fast
Well,
forward.
quite in disrepair
He won't
position.
gonna take any
And
kills, or
behind
maybe,
judge
I
whether
don't
they're
remember.
Oh,
capable on
oh.
A main.
Yeah,
And
you
then
got one
Yeah,
more.
he take a kills. But the 2 others survive with 2 guns,
Best
which
finished it
means
throughout
on
the
this
last
round,
map.
Fnatic has lost 0 money. They can have a full weapon armed and play against Apex like this and snowball them like that. And that's exactly what happened. They, thanks to this strategy,
Why,
I
they're
think
almost witnessing
they
it
win
here,
this
they're
round. I'm not really
excited.
sure, but I think.
Let me fast forward a bit.
Beta versus
Yeah, just go fast forward. It's gonna
Going.
be.
Back out towards middle and buys this. That's a
Whoops. Oh, catch a kayak.
importantly
and
crash.
Ghost
No,
thing.
Already
no,
waiting
they
to
lost the
deny
round. They
anything
lost the
they
round.
lost,
But it was really interesting. And they could have made them fully snowball Apex. With, yeah, I think if they would have won this round, they would maybe have 12-0 Apex on this game. It didn't happen, but yet really smart from Fnatic. I don't see a lot of teams doing that, and I think it's something we can see more in the future. Maybe it was a little bit risky because 2 weapons, maybe not enough. I think I would do 3 weapons, but at the end of the day, it's working kinda well.
Yeah, I mean, the
Okay.
other thing that concerns me is Apex's defense is really bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
They have the worst defense in EMEA by a decent margin. But the thing that's
Yeah.
weird is their attack is the 3rd best.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just don't know. I don't don't know if it's Batushnak's not going to Senti well enough. I don't know if it's just Avovo not being super impactful, or Floor not being super impactful in defense. But it feels like if Apex can clean up their defense, they can be middle of the pack, if not better. But until then, they're kind of just stuck in this weird limbo where if they start on attack, they have a great start, and then they choke the rest of the map, or they start on defense, and then they have to like slowly come back through the rest of the game.
Yeah. I think the reason why Apex is far more better in attack than in defense is that in attack you have more situations where Molcy and Fluorescent play together, and as I say in previous iteration, when those two play together, they are really good. They are amazingly synchronized, and yeah, it was some good catch. I think that they are another round I saw was by Apex. I think it was a defense round. That they lose, but it was really interesting. I didn't put it on the sheet,
Okay.
but you were in a situation where they were retaking by attack side, and did some interesting, a really interesting round. And sometimes when you are not good at defending, well, when you are in defense, you can transform a defense into an attack by letting the other plant and play the retake. And maybe this is a solution for Apex. Just go for the retake, go for the retake, go for the retake. Let them plant, let them plant, let them plant, and give them absolutely no chance to do anything with your utility, with your synchronization. And yeah, I really believe in this team.
Any thoughts, Stats?
I just want to leave a quick little comment, but that is I think that Apex are a really weird team because they really are like one map wonders where they will play like super good on a single map and then get steamrolled on another map.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it against like Heretics, you saw it against again RV. I mean, I don't feel like it's just like when I look at their gameplay, I look at one of their rounds, I'm like, oh, they look like a really good team. I think they can fight for playoffs definitely, and maybe even try qualify. But then I look at another map, I'm like, oh, I can see why they're winless, right? I think they just really need to fix up. I don't know if it's a mentality issue, if it's just a map pool issue, but I can't believe in this team to win until they play good on multiple maps, right? Like where I feel like they can take a series. Because right now it's just one really good performance on a single map, which is not enough for me, you know?
I understand.
I think this team will improve in the future. I think definitely by the end of the year, they'll be at least the middle pack of the team. I don't think they'll be as bad as GX and RV, at least by the end of the year. But right now, I expect them to maybe even go, well, not winless because GX, but I would expect them to maybe only get like one win.
That's true. Yeah. Moving on to Koi BBL.
No, let's do the prediction.
The predictions? Alright, let's do predictions. I think it'd be honestly easier to keep it like this, and then just each talk about which one we predict, and then I can even put it in for my pick'ems, and we'll see how it goes. So let's first start with Vitality Apex. Let me pull up the match page. Will Apex be able to upset Vitality with how Vitality looks currently? That is the question for me. Megan, do you have any thoughts to lead us off?
And as you know it, I pick Apex on the game. It's a little bit the unpopular opinion. I think Vitality is going worse and worse at every BO, while Apex is doing better and better at every BO. It will be really a fight of two different idea on the game. You have Vitality that is maybe the best EMEA team in terms of firepower, and you have Apex that is a really good team in terms of macro, as we said it. So I think everyone will put Vitality this one. I think the most rational choice is to put Vitality one, but I have this feeling that anything can happen on this BO, because you have two teams that you have Vitality that is in a crisis. You have Apex that is also in a crisis, but you know they really want to win this one, to win a BO. They really improve every time, and I want to believe they are able to replicate their performance against Fnatic on Split on other map. I think they are, if they are able to do that against Fnatic, they are able to do that on other map. They were better on the other map pool than on their own map pool. I think they will arrive with a plan to be prepared to play against Vitality first choice. I don't remember what is Vitality first pick in most of BO. I will just check to not say anything that is not true. They pick Split. They pick Lotus. Icebox
It
was
looks
banned.
like Split they'd try to play. I think.
I think their
Oh, no,
main
never
pick
mind.
is Icebox. I think their main pick is Icebox, but sometimes but it's banned a lot because they are good team on it. I think it's a really good choice for Vitality to pick Icebox because by picking Icebox, it's a map where the map plan is not important. It's really the aim. It's really the map aim by maybe even more than on Breeze. So yes, I think if you are smart when with Apex, you will let open Split. It's a little bit hard, but because I don't know which maps Vitality prefer between Split and Lotus in the order of pick. Vitality
I think it's
picks Split.
Lotus because I think Split the last two teams picked against them rather than them picking it.
On the first map against Giants, Vitality banned Pearl, JX banned Icebox, Vitality pick Split.
Yeah.
And I think against Vitality, it's Fnatic picks Split over Lotus. So I think if you are smart when you are Apex, you ban Icebox, you let Vitality pick Split, or you let it open for the last game, and you pick your most confident map. I don't think it's good to pick Lotus because on Lotus you didn't went great against Fnatic, and it's in fact one of the favorite map of Vitality. But I think you may be able to trick the map pool when you are Apex to push Vitality on maps they don't want to play, and if they manage to do that, then maybe they have a chance to win that with the macro, and I hope they do so. And if not, maybe I'm mistaken. But maybe it's more rational to think Vitality will win this one.
Are you putting in your bet for Apex?
Yeah, I double tap on Apex. I want to believe. But maybe a little bit more the choice of art.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go with the more rational pick here of Vitality. And that's also just because, like, first of all, Vitality, they are a very experienced team. They have a lot of great individuals compared to Apex, which you have like 1 to 2 like performance. You have a both that can touch, like Floor, Batinex to really perform, but overall you can't really argue that Vitality are better aimers. Another thing is that overall I think that Apex still have this problem of one map performing, one map not.
Yeah.
So I think until I see Apex be able to win a series, like win on 2 maps, I can't bet Apex.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to pick Vitality.
I have been not the number 1, but the number 2 Apex Glazer behind Megan. But at the same time, I still do believe Vitality will win this game. I think it is a great opportunity for you to pick up points, and I think this game will be closer than people will predict. But just because I think it'll be like a 60-40, 65-35, I'm still going to put Vitality.
Nat, would you predict a 2-1 for Vitality? 2 Storm for Vitality and a game winned on Apex? They play really great. Nat?
Yeah, hello?
Would you pick 2-1 for Vitality? And saying Apex will do this one map tricks and after get stumped?
Yeah, I'm picking Vitality.
Yeah.
I think so too. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Vitality wins a map like 13-3 and then Apex loses a map like 10-13. Sorry, Apex wins like first map 13-2. Vitality wins first map 13-2. Apex wins the next map like 13-8, and then loses the final map like 10-13. Like I wouldn't be surprised if one of the maps is close and then it's a stomp on either side.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's definitely possible.
Next game.
Next game, which is GX Fnatic. I don't even know if we need to talk about this one that much.
Yeah, go next. Fnatic will win.
All right, everyone's putting in Fnatic. I'm not even gonna change our prediction names. We're just gonna move on. GX is horrible. We've all talked about it. Navi Heretics. This one also I feel like it's pretty easy. But does anyone else have any differing opinions on Navi after their last match where they 13-0'd GX on the final map?
Yeah,
I think Heretics is back.
I mean, you watch Navi 13-0 GX. I mean, you can clearly see Navi's back, Hero's back, Xiao's back. You know, Heretic shit. We're bro playing Navi, right?
Listen, pal. Xiao is like 70% back. I wouldn't say he's back yet. I mean, the thing with Xiao for me is he looks like himself, but like if he degressed like multiple years of progress on him being better. Like you can tell it's Xiao, and he still has that same like Xiao identity, but it's just not as strong. And it's concerning to me because Xiao for me in FPX was the reason they were winning. Like in general, Xiao was just so good. And if there was a map where they won 13-10, I bet you that if Xiao didn't win the clutches he won, if he was even 10% worse at clutching, they'd lose that same map like 8-13 instead of winning it 13-10. He's just has so much impact, and I think he still looks like Xiao and he can clutch, and I think his util's great, and he still has the same playstyle. But he's just that like little bit off of how he used to be. And that for me, even if Hero's playing better, even if Rooksik's playing better, having just those two players and Koala, who's very wishy-washy, and Angel, who we know can't frag, it just makes me less confident that they'll win versus a team where I think they're reactivating, everyone's looking better. We know Woot's known quantity, we know he can frag. Mini Boo's looking better. Boo, in general, has been a decent fragging IGL. And then you have Benji Fishy and Rienz, who are both very solid players. Rienz, if not last year, being one of the best initiators in the world.
So you're saying Heretics or
I'm saying
or Navi
Heretics,
at the end?
100%. I think Heretics is
I'm
going to win.
picking Heretic. I'm picking Heretic for sure.
Okay. You scared me, Nets.
Okay. So maybe let's make the count. So if Fnatic wins and Heretics win, the two teams gonna be in 4-0 and play a final for the upper bracket. And if Vitality beat Apex, we will know that Navi and Vitality will both be secured in playoff, and Apex and Giants will be out.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that Navi can make playoffs.
I hate Navi. I'm sorry. No, I don't hate Navi. I hate Angel. I think he's such a bad IGL. To be fair, he has actually been really good on attack. Like, I think his calling's been really good. I thought it was going to be really bad, but looking back and watching these matches, he's really impressed me. And that's saying something considering that I was like the #1 Angel hater of all time before this stage. So, I mean, there's that, but at the same time, like, I just don't think it's enough, especially against Heretics. I think Navi making it to playoffs is surprising for a lot of people, including myself, but I think it's a deserved playoff spot. And at the same time, they're in a group with Apex and Giants. So, you know, it kind of goes back to kind of what happened in China, where you have a group that had, AG and Tyloo. And it's just like, you have Apex and Giant X. Like, if you aren't making playoffs, something is severely wrong in your team. So, that's about how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to move to the next group?
Yeah, we can move to the next group. First match is Koi BBL.
Now, Koi BBL went pretty much as well as anyone expected. I mean,
yeah,
Koi are not a great team. BBL a pretty decent team. I mean, it wasn't even that close.
Yeah,
I really want to comment on this game. I just think that Koi they do not look good. You have some like star performances. I think Shados played really well on the first map.
Yeah.
Really played pretty well on the second map. But then overall, you're still pretty bad. The macro is bad. Gorbinho, I think, feel like has been really underperforming overall this year compared to like last year.
Yeah, he
Looking
was
like
so
a top
good last
player.
year. Yeah.
Whereas now he's looking a little rough, but that's also because Koi overall are looking pretty rough. At least last year they were getting some wins. This year, not so much. I mean, is there any hope left for this team?
I don't think so. I mean,
Uh,
the thing that concerned me in Icebox, I'll let you go after Megan. My point's pretty short, but in the last like 5 or 6 rounds, I swear Filu was getting like 2 kills a round, and they were still losing convincingly. It was really sad. Like starting
Yeah.
from I think around here, Filu was getting like, yeah, he went 11-9. Like he was getting like a kill or two every single round, and they were still losing a majority of them, and it was genuinely sad to see. It was no help.
Yeah, I don't want to shoot at the ambulance, so you can go next.
Okay. Next one is Team Liquid versus Foot.
Liquid win, baby! Oh my
Yeah.
god. This was an incredible series to watch. I mean,
Yeah,
Liquid rolled them on Lotus,
yeah.
and even on the splits, Liquid still won overall. It was I mean, I was having fun watching. I'm pretty sure the Yetu fans, the Zeus fans, the Foot fans weren't having fun, but I was having fun, and that's
I
all
was
that
not
matters.
having fun. I was not having fun at all.
I mean, first of all, what I want to talk about is for Liquid is first of all, Kamo looked much better this game. This is his best game, I would say, in tier 1.
Yeah,
I
by
mean,
far.
this was also one of the best performances of Waylay I've ever seen. I mean, Team Liquid were consistently finding value on their Waylay, which is not something I like saying. I've been a
Yeah.
known Waylay hater, but you know, if you're gonna play Waylay, at least play it like this, you know. I'm not sure if it's better than any other duelist. I mean, Kamo can flex to like a lot of other ones, so I would still probably prefer maybe a Yoru or something. But at least for this comp, it's working. And yeah, I think it was a masterclass performance from Kiko and Nats as well. They played very well as usual. And I think another comment I want to make is Serial. He's been looking much more comfortable compared to
Yeah.
his early series, especially on splits where he's playing the Astra. The utility is much better, and he's fitting into this role much better overall, from going from Sentinel to Smokes, which is nice to see. Yeah,
Megan, you
that's
got any
my
thoughts?
I think I like the idea of Sky. We saw some teams using Sky when you want to do double controller or double sentinel. Food tried that. It didn't work well on splits. But to be fair, I think it's not the composition there. Liquid were just better. Nat seems confident. Camo was amazing on the two maps. So yeah, I think TL is also back. So again, there are a chance we have this debate, or is Group Alpha far better than Group Omega? Maybe it's true, but maybe it's not. And yeah, I think Team Liquid is a really good team. They still have to play Koi next week, and
Get
so
some free
yeah, I think
rounds.
they will end first of this group.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very good chance.
I mean, another thing I'm gonna quickly note is Keiko is just such a good player. I think he's, I don't know, I see some glaze for him, but I feel like I don't see enough. Like Keiko for me consistently has been the best player on Liquid, and he's just impressed me internationally. He's impressed me that he can go from controller to duelist and just nuke on both. His aim is extremely calm. He looks like he's a very good hype man for the team as well. I haven't heard anything bad about his comms or anything like that, so I'm just really impressed. I think it was the best pickup Liquid has made in a long time, besides Nats, which I think, God, when did they pick up Nats? Yeah, after M3. So, yeah, I'm just really impressed with him. I think I expected Serial to play well in T1, and I was really worried after the first match that he wouldn't, but it seems like he's adapting really well, and I think that's actually a true story overarching over the entire EMEA league in general. And some people might not agree, but Westside looks good. Serial
good.
looks good. Sivov looks good. And I think it's very important for teams to notice this because I'm really tired of seeing really shitty T1 players who are like 30 years old and have been there for 4 years. These T2 players are hungry. They want to win. They are very, very talented. Please, for the love of God, give them a chance. I'm really tired of seeing these players on the stage. And besides that, I think we're good to move on to the next game if you guys would like, which is KC Gentle Mates.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Interesting one.
Yeah.
I will end on this one because I have a lot to say.
Yeah. Okay. Nats, do you want to go?
Okay. So what I want to say is, okay, first of all, I think this is a pretty surprising result. I mean, KC last week, was it last week they lost to? Who did they? No, they beat Koi,
No, they
right?
beat Koi last week.
Yeah, they beat Koi last week, but I mean, it's Koi, so you weren't expecting too much, and they played pretty cool against BBL. While you look at M8, who was like, they were frying, man. I mean,
Yeah,
they
they
beat
good.
Liquid. They played a very close match to Foot, and now they play KC and kind of fell apart. I mean, KC played much better, much better compared to anything they played before. I feel like I am seeing the comms that are coming in now.
Thank God, yeah.
No more Suigetsu begging for comms. I mean, all the players are playing well. I think Martin played a masterclass. It's been a while since he's played this well.
Yeah.
Suigetsu and Aves been as good as they've always been. Elite, a little bit of an underperformance, but nothing too bad. And Sada did well for an IGL. I mean, better than his average. And he called it a really good game, so I'm nothing disappointed in him. I think Casey played amazing. Well, look at M8 on the other hand, and it's, it was a lot of relying on Kamek for the first map. I feel like everybody else had quite a big underperformance. Mini is also not performing nearly as well as he did in like the earlier weeks, which is it's understandable, right? You're IGLing, you're not, so his performance is expected to go down, especially how well he was playing. But it was overall really bad. You're putting up like numbers that you're unable to win with, and you look at Zipan, which Zipan was that second map. I think he was having a rough one. I'm not too impressed with him.
Yeah.
So I think the other players they did okay, but overall it was a very big mate underperformance, and also the IGLing was a bit questionable at times. Where compared to KC, I feel like they all overperformed, especially especially Martin.
Yeah, I mean, for me, KC, besides the first BBL game, which I was obviously very angry at, they've looked really, really good. I know Koi is a bad team, but it kind of backs up my theory that if they fix their comm issues, they will be immediately way better. And I kind of saw that in the Koi game, and then going into this game, it kind of confirmed my suspicion that they fixed it and they really focused on that. And they just look really good. They looked really coordinated. Martin on the Yoru was just getting so much support from his teammates. Soigetsu's obviously just a great player. Aves actually really impressed me on the Phoenix. I know he only went 20 to 20 and he had an okay rating, but I feel like he was making a lot of space with the Yoru on Haven. I think that was really important for them this map. And in general, I just think it's a really fun team to watch. I think Sedek's calling is really coming into play now, finally, and they're more coordinated, and I'm really happy. And I wouldn't be surprised if KC makes a decent run in playoffs if they keep up this form.
Okay, so I think the real loser of that game was Riot Games for the horrible tech pause. I think it was more than 1 hour of tech pause accumulated during this game. It was absolutely horrible to watch. Saying so, it was a really weird game if you were French, because the two CEO of Boost game, of Boost team, streamed the game, watch party the game in the same room. So it was really fun because when you win an important round, the CEO of this team that won. Just take a spray. I don't know what they are in the spray, but spray it at the other CEO because he lose the round, and so it was really funny to watch. It was really good vibes because it was. Yeah, the two CEO talked to each other. It was kinda fun to watch. The first game, they are a fun story because if you remember, Mate did qualify by spamming Phoenix. They won Ascension with spamming Phoenix, and then Phoenix was back, but not in Mate team. It was in KC team, and finally KC won Mate with their own weapons. With I think it's kinda fun. So Haven was a really close map. And meanwhile, I don't want to be mad at Mates for losing against Carmine Corp in Pearl because Saada cooked really well on this one. The game plan was really interesting. They know exactly what to do, and I think it's just you can't win a team that cooked things that you can't prepare off, and to win against this kind of game plan, you need to anti-strat them, and unlucky for Gentlemates, they were the team that play. They were the first team to play against them, so they have not a lot of data to counter them on Pearl, and so it was really interesting one. The return of the Arbor is great, and I'm glad to see that Carmine Corp isn't afraid of picking out of the box jump and come back with Phoenix, come back with Arbor, and doing things that will surprise their opponent. I don't know if it can work twice, but it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm just justified. I love KC, I love this roster, and I'm happy to see them succeed. So
yeah,
next thing to go over.
One last point.
Yeah, you can keep going.
I want to talk about Click because last week I said, yeah, mates have destroyed their opponent with their EGL between I think last in KD differential.
Yeah.
And again, Click didn't show on Evan, and if he was a little bit better, they would have won this one. And I don't like to call to drop some player because that's not my philosophy. I like, shonen time. We need to be strong together. But when you have a duelist that is not fragging, since it's the one that is supposed to be the most fragging, this is a really huge problem. And if Mate doesn't solve that, they not gonna qualify. But if they solve that, they may be one of the best team in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Click's been so bad. I'm so sorry. If I check, where is he? He's 0.68.
Oh.
This split, he's almost as bad as Tomazi. He's worse than Flya and Governor. And Angel. It's really bad. So, I mean, I just don't know. He looked so good in Tier 2. He was so hyped, and he just looks lost. And I was really excited to see him play. In fact, when this Gentlemates roster was announced, more than Mini, more than Robbie BK, even more than Zipan, maybe even more than Kadavra, I was really excited to see Click. I was like, wow, if Click activates, if he plays well, they have Kadavra, who we know is really good. Mini's like a solid player. Zipan's a solid player. Robbie BK, I thought was a pretty decent IGL. And I thought these two pieces would combine, Kadavra and Click, and they would just make this team a team that could play in playoffs. And they just, one of them is doing good, and one of them is not. Kadavra, he's not up to par. I think he's playing a lot worse than he normally does, but he's at least not losing them games, I feel. But Click's just not been activated in any meaningful way. And I think when he is activated, it's on a map they lose convincingly, which is really weird.
Yeah. But it was in chaos, so this game is not really interesting to analyze, I think. But I think you know that you show the team of mates a few seconds ago. They have a lot of people in the staff, but I think when you take some new players, some players that coming from tier 2s, you need a psychologist in your staff, and to be ensure that is good in that, because maybe the problem is not Israel level, but maybe the problem is just it's a lot of pressure. It's you need someone to help you in your mental state, because as I usually said a lot, I think Valorant is 80% mental. If you are in a good day, you will perform twice more than what you did in a middle day, and in a bad day you will be twice worse than what you really are. And saying so, well, a psychologist might be the K in a lot of team, and I want to see that in the future.
Yeah, I mean, you can look. I really quickly pulled it up. I clicked stats in split 2 of Doc Evolution. He had 1.10, but he had 250 combat score. He was entering all the time. Like, he was just diving in, and he was almost always good for a kill. And he was even better in split 2, where he had 1.19. If I could find it. Oh no, sorry, that was split 2. Split 1, he had 1.19. And he had 280. Yet again, he just had so many first kills. And to me, it's either there's two kind of possibilities I can see, right? Which is if you're a hard entry, you have to be extremely confident. If you go into T1, your first game isn't good, immediately you are not as confident. You just play bad for the rest of the season. The other thing I want to mention is I feel like the utility helping him isn't that good. Like, I think Zipon's a good player. I don't think he's a good, like, strong utility player. Like, I think he's, in a way, quite selfish. And I'm not seeing as strong of a util setup for Click to succeed compared to a lot of other players in T1.
Okay.
But I don't think that excuses his performance either way.
Yeah, there are so many Judys that are able to take so many kills even if nobody set them up. So Vitality is a good example. Prediction time?
Prediction time.
Right into it.
Team Liquid Koi.
Liquid.
Yeah.
Do any Koi believe it?
No, let's not.
You know what?
shoot at
Hades,
them,
Hades isn't here. I'm gonna put him down as Koi out of spite. Hades is the Koi believer. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Okay.
This one's actually interesting. Mates BBL.
We have a 2 French versus Turkey game this week.
This is most likely deciding on who's going to make playoffs, right?
I think so. Yeah. Wait, Mates BBL. Yes, this is extremely dependent on who makes playoffs. Yes.
Yeah. Also, I think they both have played at Koi. No, BBL hasn't played Koi.
No,
yes,
BBL have played Koi. BBL have played Koi.
Mates hasn't played Koi. BBL has played Koi.
So yeah, technically, let's consider everyone beat Koi. What is the ranking if everyone beat Koi? You have Gentlemate at 2-1 and Team Liquid at 3-1. Gentlemate at 2-2 and Team Liquid at 3-1. So yeah, technically, this is really close from this 5 team.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think.
It's a 50-50 game, let's be honest. It will depend a lot. Will they manage to activate Click? Will they continue to play good? Because I think Mate is... I really think Mate is a good team, and I think BBL has a lot of problems to solve to be a really good team, and they beat only Koi, and they beat KC, but it was more KC that was choking than BBL that was convincingly good. So I don't think BBL has proved anything yet. Another good thing they did, it was beating Fnatic, but it was an horrible Fnatic that played zero vision on split, and the coach were fired right after this, and they changed, and now Fnatic is one of the best teams. So they just beat a Fnatic that was heavily nerfed. And yeah, I think BBL hasn't proven enough, and that's why I will go on Mate, because even if Mate wasn't that good last week, they still beat Team Liquid, which means a lot. And yeah.
All right. Nats, you got a prediction?
Okay. So I'm actually putting BBL. I don't think that BBL have been that great this season for me to go, oh, BBL for sure. But overall, I think BBL have a lot of great pieces that they can utilize. I think that I mean, I've also been influenced right now by looking at Click stats. That looks tragic. I mean, also wasn't too impressed with how Mini and Zepan played last week. I think you're relying a lot on Kamek, which I think is not the same for BBL. I think BBL you have a lot more pieces you can rely on. I'm also really confident in like the not like the macro of the team. I think the macro is still comes into question, but I think like the team play of the coordination on this team is still pretty good. And it's still 50-50 in my mind, but I lean towards BBL.
Yeah, I mean, I would lean towards BBL as well. I think I forget if it's their attack or their defense. That's pretty. Oh no, they're both fine. Oh no, it's their attack. BBL's attack sucks, to be fair, but their defense is really good. I think if you look at the BBL team, like Luen's really good. Yumpy I think is fine. Profex fine. Sociable's good. Magnum's actually really impressed me. And if you look at EMEA, it's like Cadavra's underperforming all season. Click's been horrible. Mini's been like, he's IGLing now, so he's just meh. Zipon's meh, he's fine. Kamek's been good, but like even then, like if you go player for player, it's just not the same. And I also think Mini's having a harder time against better teams adapting to IGLing and making calls on the fly while still performing, and I think that's really important. And so for me, I think Yumpy has more experience calling. I think they have better players. I think they have better macro. And I think it could be a very close game, and it really does depend on players like Click, Cadavra performing. But I just see a higher percentage chance of the players of BBL performing than the players on Mates performing.
Yeah, I don't think I disagree with that. I think player by player, the two teams are really good. Mini is one of the rare EGL that also make a lot of frags. So yeah, I really believe in Mate. Hearing your argument convinced me even more to pick Mate.
Whoa!
Oh wow!
Hey, I respect it. I respect it a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Me too.
All right. KC Foot. This is the match I'm most excited for.
I think this is a very interesting match, and really will shape up to how the group looks.
I actually favor KC personally. I think KC's looked so good. I think past the BBL match, they've just looked extremely solid. And I think for me, like, the only problem I had with KC was communication, from what I saw. And their communication seems a lot better now. They seem to be very dominant. I'm really happy that even though they're picking kind of off meta characters, their calling is really solid. And for me, they just look really convincing. While Foot looks very shaky. I mean, if you look at their previous games, like, yeah, it was 10-13. They barely won this map. They could have gotten 2-0'd by Gentlemates. Like, they won the last map convincingly. You go back to Koi. Like, they almost lost a map to Koi. It's just, they get dominated by Liquid. I think Foot looks... Their score is better than how they look. I mean, if you see they're 2-1 with +3. And if you compare that to KC, who's 2-1, and past their first match where they lost to BBL, they're +29. So for me, and they both got Koi out of the way as well. That's to keep in mind, I think. Yeah. So you can't use that as an excuse like they racked up free rounds, because Foot could have done that, and they didn't. So for me, I think they look more convincing with their actual like win to loss than they do in their matches. While Carmine Corp has really, really surpassed my expectations almost, considering I put them, I think, 5th to 6th, getting kind of crashing out in playoffs. So I'm putting down KC.
Yeah, same. I really agree with you. I was convinced by their game against Mates. I think Pearl is gonna let be open by Foot, and they're gonna play against on Pearl. And I don't think Foot is a really good team to anti-strat. Foot is really the Turkish aim player with, let's say, a decent macro, but that's definitely not their strength. It's not a good macro. It's only decent. It's the gatekeeper team, and I think KC can pass the door of the gatekeep.
Yeah.
That is Foot.
Okay. So I'm gonna give my take then, which is I believe in Foot actually, because I mean, even if you look at, I mean, Foot have been pretty consistent, but I feel like if you look at a Liquid match, it's the first time where they really underperformed. I mean, J, one of their best players, is like dropped like 0 kills for like a decent amount on Lotus. I don't know where he picked up that 1 kill, like, but like it was bad from J. And Zeus was also underperforming quite a bit. He played much better on splits, but on Lotus it was here and there. So I think that it's really rare for Foot to have this underperformance, and I don't expect him to have it again. So I wouldn't like take this Team Liquid match too much into consideration. And I also with KC, I want to see a little bit more from KC. You know, because their win against Benedict was super impressive. Don't get me wrong, but that's also with a lot of their players doing really well, right? So what happens if Martin's maybe not having that a good game like he was previously? What happens if the like Sadak isn't giving a masterclass IGLing, you know, especially against Foot, where okay their macro is not that great, but they're consistent, right? Like their team play, they can trade each other well. So I really want to see how KC go up against this. You know, maybe I'm not saying KC doesn't have a chance. I think KC have a very good chance, but I'm leaning towards Foot because of their past success, I would say.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I understand.
All right. That is the predictions for EMEA. Real quick before we wrap up, anyone have any more topics? Do you want to loop back to any games we already covered? Do you have anything else you want to bring up?
I think we can go to the thread of the week.
Thread of the week.
mean,
All right.
Is anyone interested in talking about a certain controversy with Safe?
Oh, I don't even
go
know
on.
about this.
Same.
Oh, you don't know?
No.
So okay. There's okay. I think I'll pull up a clip because
Let me open up his profile.
Safe put out. Safe said something very interesting. In their Vitality match against their who was their last opponent? I've already forgotten.
Heretics?
Heretics, yeah.
Yeah. He's pulling up the receipts, fellas.
Yeah, but okay, I mean, I'm just gonna pull out like one of those Sliggy clips, but yeah, it's
Did Nat freeze?
Hold up, this is so important. I'm changing the topic.
Poor Nat, already having some problem about internet in China. But don't worry, he's back tomorrow for more Americas and Pacific games.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted
He's
to
back.
mention. Oh, he's back. Hello,
back?
Matt.
Hello?
You're back.
Yeah.
Okay. I sent it.
You sent it.
It's in the Discord.
It's in the Discord. Megan, can you paste that into the doc?
Of course.
Thank you.
That's my job.
Yeah, you're the document
I'm
paster.
I'm the secretary there. Okay.
It's gonna be like one of those like streamer reacts
Yeah.
it should be the same thing.
I'm doing okay, I think it's good. It's right on the bottom.
This one. Cool. Got it.
Yeah.
No, we gotta get him off. We gotta get him off there, bro.
What the fuck? Do you want to move to the one where it's Sliggy?
It's fine. It's just bad as what Safe says.
Okay.
That might have.
It's just a gap on the phone.
That might have actually pissed me off.
This half.
Yes.
Vitality to get to 4. It almost feels
Nah,
like that
Wu,
buffer.
are you serious right now?
It's just enough.
Put him back on the ice though,
Potentially, I
or
mean,
the
the
arena.
fifth will
That was very
Yeah,
annoying.
let's listen in.
Yeah.
definitely
Very
make them feel more comfortable.
It's very normal now, and then we get really
Here
weird.
is the kill that
I
comes
can't believe
onto
Vitality
Kids.
won that round, bro. I thought they were gonna. Damn.
Oh.
Benji Fishy? What? Benji Fishy's
Yeah, there's only
licking the
because
wall.
those 2 kills come onto
My goat, Benji?
7-5, and my mom is gonna give us a blowjob.
I
yeah.
remember this.
What?
Well, there you go, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
remember this now.
so I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory there, but people are asking
Oh.
about this questionable thing. If say maybe a removal or a ban or something like that. People were comparing this to the juvenile controversy where he trying to buy people with coaching. Yeah. So any opinions on what happened here?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some extremely deep cut lore that I don't even know if anyone knows. So I knew Safe before he even played Valorant. I knew him when he played Counter-Strike in Tier 2. Safe in Tier 2 was known to be an extremely, erratic, toxic player. To the point where one of the last matches he ever recorded on Counter-Strike, he was carrying his team on a map called Train. It got to, I think, the third overtime, and he literally just, left the game. He just gave up. He just left the game in the middle of an actual official. He just quit. He's just like, I forgot if he typed something in chat, but he just left the game, and they had to play 4v5 for the rest of the game, and they lost. And that's one of the last maps he ever recorded on Counter-Strike. So, for me, it's not actually that surprising. It's also why I was kind of concerned when he picked up IGLing, because I feel like he's a pretty sporadic person. But I'm not surprised. I think it doesn't fit the Valorant atmosphere and what the game is going for. But to me, I mean, I listened to that happen. I saw the thread, and I was like, oh yeah, that's safe.
That's safe. Wow.
To be fair, maybe that's because I don't understand perfectly English and I don't have the every details of what it does mean in fact. But I think it's just fun and it's okay to say fun thing. But I will be a little bit frightened by the fact that they indeed lose the game. So maybe they was not that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe
okay.
it's not a compliment for his own mother by the fact they lose this game.
For me, I don't think it's ban worthy, right? I mean, I'm shocked this got
No.
onto production in the first place. Like, I don't know how they
Yeah,
slipped
who brought
by.
that up?
Yeah, someone deliberately chose that clip. Like they showed the frags and everything, and then they were, yup, we're including this one.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like awful, you know, like it's weird, but like that's pretty much all it is. So yeah, I mean, it's just pretty fun to see.
Okay, I need to change my mind because you say if 7-5, if it's 7-5 and they need 7-5 and they need only 5 rounds for vitality when you say that.
Yeah, that's what he said on Icebox. Yes.
Yes, and indeed they succeed to do that. So congrats.
No, did they?
Congrats,
No,
mother of. They went 7-5, so it
They went
worked.
5-7.
If your AGL say something and these things make your teams win, then it was the best things to do. It worked. So if it worked, there are no reason to blame him.
You know what? They were thinking about it rest of half and it worked. Yeah, you're right. My bad. I will not say anything more on this topic because you were correct. You guys wouldn't get it. You're not pros. You don't get team motivation, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So,
All right.
Any other, or we go thread of the week?
Yeah, thread of the week. All right. Is it in the document? Or
Does
do
we have a thread of the
one?
week?
I don't know if we do.
Okay, I like by the fact that everybody's asking if we have a thread of the week, I'm assuming we do not have a thread of the week.
I do not think we do, but to be fair, I think the thread of the week should have been the safe controversy. So, and we just went over that, so that might actually discover it.
Let me check if there are a trade about safe saying that. So
Yeah.
we can check.
I remember seeing it, which is why I remember it. Hold up. Let me see. Date created.
When
did that happen? A couple days ago?
Yeah, it happened a couple days ago.
Yeah, let me see.
Safe mom sabotaged EMEA. Destroyed the PC. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not.
Yeah, safe out. Safe out. But actually no.
Yeah, there's like 3 threads, so it's just safe and then a bunch of question marks. Safe? What the hell are you talking about? I guess it's not a thread, but it's more just a topic. It's so funny.
If you watch the watch safe, if you go back to the other one, one of them had like 28.
28? I didn't see that one. Hold up. Not this page.
Oh yeah, wait. No,
It's on
I'm
the
blind, I'm
first
blind.
page? No.
It was where the safe question marks one were.
Is where the question marks one word? It says around here. I think.
Yeah.
Nope. Yes.
Yeah, if you watch safe not get cancelled, that one.
Watch, see if not.
But never know Billy.
Ah, here we go. Yeah, who the
So I mean, so I mean, a general consensus of like no one's too worried about this, but yeah, it's pretty funny. Just for this moment to happen.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why did the stream show such comms in the first place? Yeah, that's what I feel about it. I mean, I think, if anything, a lot of the time, players aren't supposed to say stuff like that. But if the person who's doing the replays specifically puts it in, I feel like a lot of it is on the person who's doing the replays as well, rather than just the player. If
Yeah,
people
and
want to
I'm
get
glazing
outraged.
this guy for doing that because thanks to him, we can laugh a lot about their things. And this
Yeah.
creates some dramas, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, if Vitality win EMEA this year, maybe she gonna enter in the Legends. Right next to Faker.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? He should just say it every game. At the beginning, he goes, guys, remember what I said last time? This time, 8-4. And he's just going to keep going up. 9-3 this time, guys. 10-2. And eventually, 13-0
Yeah.
every game.
Yeah, but you also need to be more creative and have other things, because if you don't promise other things that is always a little bit more higher, guys are gonna be a little bit less. Oh, we did already that like last time. We need something new. So, yeah.
I don't know how much he can promise, but hopefully he can pull through.
Oh.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. I think we're good to go. I think that's everything.
Yes. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I hope our China coin flip predictions become true. We can only cross our fingers. And besides that,
Oh yeah.
thank you for joining me, Megan. Thank you for joining me, Nats. And thank you, Spirit of Hades, for joining us, sleeping in the corner.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Alright.
Thanks to you for hosting this and not making having my PC burn for the second time.
For
Thanks
sure.
this amazing episode. Sorry for the weird disconnects all over the place, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, guys. See you next episode.
Bye bye.
Bye.
And I need to click on the button to make it stop.